Geauga Local Access Cable Corporation, GTV, presents Chardon Hilltopper football. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, the Chardon Hilltoppers will take on the Riverside Beavers. Craig Dees along with Jamie Ward. And Jamie, we look at these two teams here tonight. You've got a couple teams that we could be out of here before we know it because they just love to pound the football on the ground.
No, you're right, and you've got the Chardon wing tee. That's something that all Hilltopper fans are familiar with. Dave Boers has established the triple option at Riverside. And so you're right, they're going to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving. And right now, if you look at Chardon's offense, I talked to one of the assistant coaches before the game, Craig, and it's been a while since Chardon has punted the football. So offensively, they seem to be really running well right now.
Yeah, they are. They're running the ball extremely well. So far, they're about 268 yards a game on the ground, but you can say that basically the same thing again for Riverside is they're rushing for over 200 yards themselves. So, maybe it will come down to passing the football, but I would guess at the end of it all, it's whoever who can stop the run, maybe the team that's to beat tonight.
I think this is a very important measuring stick because it's week 8. These two schools match up very well together, and you take a look at both coaches. They'll tell you that they're young. They'll say that their programs are just getting off of the ground. But at the same time, when you play opponents like South, like North in the Premier Athletic Conference, those are going to be tough games. Now these two schools will play each other, and Coach Boers will get a sense, where are the Beavers? And Coach Hewitt will see, after 7 weeks, where are my Hilltoppers? And so I think that this is probably the most important game that these two schools may play for the rest of the year.
Well, and both of these squads really think that they're better than their record shows, and they're out to prove it here tonight. And, of course, we've got that dynamic. Mitch Hewitt, of course, the Chardon graduate, went on to Bowling Green State University. He's been on Dave Boers' staff at West Geauga and at Riverside. He comes over now to be a head coach, and I know there's no prouder guy on the field today than Dave Boers to see one of his own get a head coaching job.
Right. They left Chardon at the same time together. Mitch came with Dave to West Geauga first for 2 seasons and then to Riverside last year. That's where Mitch was the defensive coordinator. Now coming back to his hometown in Chardon. Everyone in Chardon very excited about that. But these guys couldn't be better friends.
Well, we'll see what goes on tonight. We've got a good one on tap. It's the Riverside Beavers, the Chardon Hilltoppers. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll have Chardon Hilltopper football in a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we would like to dedicate a special portion of our pregame to our outstanding seniors and their parents. They have dedicated many years of service to our band program and have led our band into the future. Seniors and parents, we appreciate all of your dedication and leadership, and we'll miss you next year. Let's have a nice round of applause for our band seniors and their parents. Our first senior is squad leader in our quad section, Nick Bieber. He's being escorted this evening by his parents, Peggy and Klaus Bieber. Nick has been in marching band for 4 years and plans to major in engineering at the University of Akron. Our snare drum squad leader, Sean Casamento, is being escorted this evening by his parents, Joe and Denise Casamento. Sean has been in marching band for 4 years and plans to attend a 4-year college after graduation. His major is undecided, but he hopes to minor in music. Megan Connolly is one of our top ret captains and has been a top ret for 4 years. Her parents, Christine and Timothy Connolly, are escorting her tonight. After graduation, Megan plans to attend a 4-year college to study international business. Bill and Laura Crowley are escorting their daughter, majorette captain Kelsey Crowley. Kelsey has twirled with the marching band for 4 years. She plans to attend a 4-year college, perhaps Ohio University, and major in communications with a focus in public relations. Our senior field commander, Sarah Cunningham, is being escorted on the field this evening by her parents, Sean and Jenny Cunningham. Sarah's been in the marching band for 4 years and hopes to attend Baldwin Wallace with a focus in the natural sciences. She plans to attend medical school someday while staying involved with band, choir, and theater. Sarah would like to thank her parents for all their support, her directors, and the rest of the band for a great season. Danielle Doherty is a saxophone squad leader and is being escorted by her parents, Doug and Wendy Doherty, and her sister, Katie Doherty. Danielle has been in band for 4 years, and after graduation, she plans to attend a 4-year college and major either education or agricultural or animal sciences. Britton Elswick is being escorted this evening by her parents, Carmen and Larry Elswick. Britton is a flute squad leader and has been in the band for 4 years. She plans to attend The Ohio State University to major in archaeology and historical linguistics. Karen and David Fairbanks are escorting their daughter, Abby Fairbanks, on the field this evening. Abby has been a topper for 4 years, and after graduation, she plans to attend Ohio University to major in music therapy. Katrina Grantham is one of our trombone squad leaders. She's been in marching band for 4 years. She is being escorted onto the field by her parents, Ann and Matt Grantham. Katrina hopes to attend college in the future and possibly major in teaching and in history. Katrina Grantham, one of our trombone squad leaders. This evening, Topperette Stephanie Hoover is being escorted by her father, Kip Hoover, his fiancee, Katie, and her sister, Nicole Hoover. Stephanie has been a Topperette for 3 years, and after graduation, she plans to attend Lakeland Community College to study criminal justice. Valerie Kofel, one of our saxophone squad leaders, is being escorted this evening by her parents, Danette and Tony Kofel. She has been in band for 4 years and has been a squad leader for 1. After high school, Val would like to attend Kent State University and major in biology while continuing to be in college marching band. Joe Linsky, a member of our snare line, is being escorted this evening by his parents, Ed and Leslie Linsky. Joe has been in the marching band for 4 years, and he plans to attend college to major in psychology. Megan Marshall has been one of our majorettes for 3 years. Tonight, she is being escorted by her parents, Barb and Jerry. Megan plans to attend a 2- or 4-year college to become a radiographer.
Ben Peace, also a member of our snare line, is being joined on the field tonight by his parents, Michelle and David Peace. Ben has been in marching band for 3 years. After graduation, he plans to attend a 4-year college and major in business. Terry and Brad Radel are escorted our Mighty Mellophone squad leader onto the field tonight, Lisa Radel. Lisa has been in band for 4 years. Lisa plans to go to Michigan State University to study zoology and hopes to become a science teacher. Mandy Radson, one of our flute squad leaders, is being escorted by Jill and Rich Radson. Mandy has been in marching band for 4 years, 3 of which were in Virginia at Grassfield High School. After graduation, Mandy plans on attending the University of Virginia for music major. Daniel Sankovic, a member of our tuba section, is being escorted by Diane and Greg Sankovic. He has been in marching band for 3 years. Daniel has yet to decide on a college, but he plans to study psychology. Kim Savitas is a trombone squad leader, and she has been in band for 4 years. Tonight, she is being escorted by her parents, Mike and Mary Savitas. After graduation, Kim plans to attend the State University of New York's College of Environmental Science and Forestry to major in wildlife biology. Ryan Scull has been a member of our saxophone section for 4 years and is currently a squad leader. His mother and father, David and Jennifer Scull, are escorting him tonight. After graduation, Ryan hopes to attend a 4-year college to major in youth ministry.
Our next senior is Sienna Sitcher, and she's being escorted by her mom, Pamela Smosky, and her stepdad, Robert Smosky. Sienna's been in marching band for 4 years in our cymbal section. She does plan to attend college and hopes to major in biomedical engineering. Paige Smearman is being escorted by her parents, Mark and Tracy Smearman, this evening. Paige has been in band for 4 years. She played clarinet for 2 years, and she has been a topperette for 2 years. After graduation, Paige plans to attend a 4-year liberal arts college to major in psychology.
Emily Tusick has been in band for 4 years, 3 playing clarinet and 1 playing trombone. She is being escorted by her parents, Mike and Jody Tusick. After high school, she plans to attend a 4-year college and wants to major in nursing and Spanish. One of our topperettes, Samantha Wagner, is being joined on the field this evening by her mother, Laura, her father, Michael, and her sister, Jessica. She has been in band for 4 years. Samantha hopes to attend either Malone College or Lake Erie College to major in art management with the goal of becoming a pastry chef. Brittany Watson is being escorted this evening by her mother and father, Michelle and Todd Watson. Brittany is a topperette and has been in marching band for 3 years. Brittany plans to attend a 4-year university after graduation to study nursing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have great seniors, great leadership, great band parents, 9th grade through 12th grade. But tonight we recognize our seniors and their parents. Let's please give them one more big round of applause. Thank you for all of your leadership and dedication. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for the rest of our pregame festivities. Introducing the 2011 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. On the left side of your field, we have Junior Assistant Field Commander Ryan Gillespie. And on the right side of your field, we have Junior Assistant Field Commander Chrissy Savitas. And in the center of the field, we have our Senior Field Commander, Miss Sarah Cunningham. The band will be dedicating part of tonight's pregame to all of our great band parents, 9th through 12th grade.
Now we would like to recognize all of our band parents. Band parents, would you please enter the field and stand by your son or daughter? Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to honor the hard work and dedication of all of our band parents. They have put in countless hours towards our band program, promoting excellence throughout. From purchasing instruments to providing transportation to rehearsals. We couldn't do it without you. Could we please have a round of applause for all of our band parents? Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and honor America with the playing of our country's national anthem and remain standing for the Chardon High School alma mater. All right, Topper fans, show your Topper spirit and shout "Hey" as we play the Hey song.
And welcome back to Chardon Memorial Field, just moments away from today's kickoff. And, of course, Jamie, we talked about off the air saying, boy, I hope the rain doesn't hit us. And
yeah,
you saw the pregame just a little bit ago. You saw some of the Chardon band playing, and all of a sudden the rain has opened up here a little bit. But obviously this field drains very well. May not affect the teams too much with the way they run the football, but just never fun if you're a fan just sitting in this stuff over all night.
No, not at all. And people expected it to come down, and it's here, and it's likely to continue. The good thing to think about, Craig, is let's just stay away from the next level of storm, which which is always also a possibility.
Yeah, I've done some games here where we had one game years and years ago. We were still at the old field. It got suspended. We picked it up the next night.
Right.
Because the weather just did not let up. So
that would be something to avoid for sure. But I think you're right about how this will affect the teams. The teams are going to run the football. They're going to try to play a lot of the game in between the tackles or around the end. And I don't think they mind it, to be honest with you.
And here come the Hilltoppers now. Of course, Coach Mitch Hewitt, first year here, taking over for Jim DePofi, who was here for quite some time. And Hilltoppers coming through the band right now. And you're going to see a lot of pink in the crowd tonight. We're going to highlight that throughout the course of the night. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, right now. And they're highlighting that here tonight at Memorial Field. So we'll see a lot of pink in the crowd. I know a lot of the parents that were here, the band's senior nights, a lot of the parents were asked to wear pink. I don't think I have a pink shirt. I think I'd have to ruin a red shirt to get a pink shirt.
Well, give credit to this cause, because you look at all across the country, and it's touched in every sport at every level. The Susan G. Komen Foundation has done such a great job, and really high school teams now in every sport play pink games, and just give that it's an important cause, and give the marketers a lot of credit for making it so visible.
Well, it's an important cause or something that's taken very seriously when the NFL, who is so strict about uniforms and the things that guys have on their uniforms, let them wear pink all over the place this month. So
the entire month.
It is. And Riverside Beavers down at the far end, they're getting ready to come in as well. So looking forward to a great night of football. Glad to be back with you. As long as we got a second, I got to say, for the first time in 18 years, I'm sitting at Chardon Memorial Field without John Walsh sitting next to me. And I came around the corner today expecting him to be here, and he's not. And as you know, he passed away in the offseason. And kind of a tough night being here without John. We had a lot of great times, called a couple state championship games, or state championship win, and a not so good win, not a win, but my thoughts, every time I think about Chardon football, I think about John Walsh. And so you got big shoes to fill tonight, just so you know.
Well, that's not going to happen. I can say it right off the bat.
And a big sweatshirt. He'd be the first to admit that.
I had only a few opportunities to do games with John, but I always enjoyed it. I enjoyed the uniqueness he brought, and he was such an interesting character, and he was genuine with the way he did a game.
I was just glad I was able to make it through that. All right, we're ready for football now. We'll see what happens here tonight. Of course, Chardon and the home black uniforms here tonight. I know we've got folks listening on the internet tonight as well, so we'll be a little more descriptive than we normally would be for television, just so that they know what's going on as well. But that's really a nice little deal that we've got going on GTV. Fans can listen to the games as well, and I know we're doing some just broadcast-only games on there as well. So GTV, the place to be, and at the website as well. So Chardon will be receiving the kickoff to our right. So we'll have Alex Muir going back. Riley Hawkins will go back with him as well. Rain looks like it's picking up. If there's any consolation, there's no wind at least. It's coming straight down here tonight. Jesse Cassidy will be teeing it up for the Riverside Beavers to our left. Cassidy, a senior kicker. And we'll get into it throughout the course of the evening. You look at this Chardon Hilltopper team, and there's a lot of guys that don't have senior by their name. So I think as they build, as you talked about a little bit earlier, build and see where you're at now and then see where you're at the end of the season and try to build on that. And younger guys getting a lot of good work here.
Well, these two teams have both beaten Geneva, and but this is a good barometer in the fact that Chardon, in their losses this year, Craig, against teams that are 28-6 on the year, and teams that are all likely to make the playoffs or could in one way or another. So,
well, you got 8 minutes to go against the Maple Heights team, and they were right in that ball game. And I think if you gauge that, and Don Nabosic, one of the assistant coaches, the consummate PR guy, we are the best 2-5 team in this state. So, and that very well could be, and we'll see tonight if they can live up to that against the Riverside Beavers, another program that is under a new coach in the second year, building and building to see if they can make some headway as well. And this conference has turned out to be pretty good. I mean, North, South, Madison. I mean, you've got some really good teams in this conference. So here we go. Jesse Cassidy set to boot it off. And he'll send it to the right side. It's short. It's going to be taken by Hawkins. And he will grab it across the 20 to 25, 30, and he's upended at the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Nice return by Riley Hawkins, who averages about 21 yards per return. All right, for the Chardon Hilltoppers up front, we'll see Will Blankenship, Travis Ritt, Sam Wilkes, Jared Urich, and Cal McGee. Andrew Gray at tight end, John Spear and Stephen Douglas. We'll see the wideouts. Of course, the quarterback, Nick Ruckle, 6'1", 175. He is a senior, and he's rushed the ball for almost 650 yards here.
Tall pink socks for Ruckle.
In the backfield, Muir and Zach Barry.
That doesn't surprise me with Nick.
Hand the ball over the, actually Ruckle going to keep it. He's going to come near side 40, 45, and out of bounds. Well, my first taste of the wing tee, and I'm fooled already. But a nice play by Nick Ruckle. He's been such an integral part of this offense. 118 carries so far, and with that one, that does put him over 650 yards on the season.
Yeah, there, you know, really wide open running space there. He kind of took it out of bounds himself, didn't take a hit. Just a good 1st and 10 play.
Zach Barry is the lone setback behind Ruckle. He puts Connick in motion, hands the ball to him. He's across midfield into the 45, head down to the 40, and lunges forward to the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and that'll be a first down for the Hilltoppers. That's 2 plays, 2 first downs. That's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, and that's Chardon football. Good to see that they're out and running. Novacek mentioned it before the game. The offense is really playing well. It's the defense that is something that Coach Hewitt keeps talking about.
Barry in the backfield with Muir at one wing, Connick at the other. That's Muir coming in motion. He takes the handoff, and he'll go around the left side, and he's got some room as he cuts back inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Nice gain there of about 6 or 7. 2nd down and short coming up.
Nick Thomas in on the tackle for the Beavers. Coach Boers, also a defensive-minded coach, can't like what he sees here early on. The Hilltoppers just kind of having their way.
Jason Janda checked into the game for the Hilltoppers. He'll come to the near side. Again, it's Connick, the wing on the left side, and Muir on the right side with the big fullback, Zach Barry, in the backfield. 5'11", 205. That's Connick going in motion. They hand the ball to Zach Barry, and he goes across the right side inside the 30 to the 28, and that's another first down for the Hilltoppers. So they are running the ball at will right now against a Riverside Beaver team that gives up about 155 yards a game on the ground. Chardon.
And you look at those first 4 plays, Craig, Ruckle, Connick, Muir, Barry. 4 different guys getting involved.
Spreading the wealth. Ruckle under center. First down and 10 on the 29. They hand the ball off to Muir, and he gets stacked up that time. Right at the 30-yard line. Looked like John Maxwell, one of the defensive linemen, came in to make the play, and that'll be a loss of about 2, and we'll call it 2nd down and 12. Rain continues to fall here in Chardon.
It is falling too. It is
a lot of umbrellas.
It could be heavier, but it's pretty heavy as is.
Stephen Douglas splits to the far side. Andrew Gray is tight at left end. An offset eye in the backfield as Ruckle goes from the shotgun for the first time. And he's going to keep it. He's going right side. He's to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Cuts back inside the 15, stays on his feet, and he's run out of bounds after a big gain and another Chardon first down.
Adam Horvat pushed him out, but Craig stayed on his feet, which was important there, running on that right side. And Coach Boers not happy. This is almost one of those basketball timeouts.
Yeah, just to slow down the momentum. Looks like where they've spotted it is about the 12-yard line. Hard to tell from this angle, but boy, another good gainer by Chardon. And they've been picking up those yards pretty much except for one play, picking up at will.
Yeah, great start. Hey, let's remind everybody, today's Cablecast, funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees. And we'd like to again extend thanks to all of our funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Burton Village, Chardon Township, the City of Chardon, Hamden Township, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all of our viewers. And if you're listening at home, thanks for taking part in our new service this year with the live play-by-play. I know you've heard Matt Jaworski doing games, and I've done a few as well. And Craig, it took a while, but it's great to get you into the mix this year.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I tell you, it's been, with the way the schedule's worked out, it's been great to be back. 18 seasons now here at GTV. My gosh, I am getting old. I don't know about that. Ruckle from the shotgun with Berry to his right. Hands the ball off to Berry. Breaks a tackle, then gets drilled right back at the line of scrimmage. Not much of a gain there. They had originally spotted the ball at the 11, so Chardon can get a first down at the 1-yard line. It'll be a second down, and we're still going to call it 10, so no gain on that play. That was a big, hard hit by the Riverside defense.
You know, this is exactly what the Hilltoppers want to do, and that's control the clock as it's 9:15 now and counting in the first quarter, and as we've said, you know, they're almost at 5+ per carry right now.
Gray goes to the right side. Now they run a wide out way to the near side. Nobody on him. Now they get a defender out there, Roger Davis. And there's a ball that's loose on the ground, picked up by Muir. He's able to fall on it, but that'll be a loss of a couple of yards there. As Muir had it, lost it, and was able to jump back on it. They'll spot it back at the 12-yard line, it looks like.
Athletic play by Muir, who got through the line of scrimmage, lost it, and then he really had one chance to get on it, and he was able to pull it in. Otherwise, that could have been a problem the other way.
Third down and 11, now back at the 12-yard line. So, again, they can still get a first down. Jason Janda comes back into the game for Chardon. He will go to the wide side. Ruckel going to go from the shotgun. He'll have Zach Berry behind him. He's got John Connick off to the right side. Runs it out. He's going to tuck it under, trying to get around the outside. Can't do it. Now he's going to come back the near side.
Oh.
He's got some room. He's to the 10. He cuts back inside the 5, and he lunges toward the end zone, and he's down just outside the 1 at the 2-yard line, and that'll bring up an interesting situation for Coach Hewitt here, as it doesn't look like he's got enough for the first down, but what an athletic play there by Nick Ruckel.
Yes, it was. And reversing field, we've seen him do this all year. Anytime you reverse field, the coaches kind of cringe, right? Where's he going? Ruckel, though, has been athletic enough to pull that off a few times, and few players can do that at this level.
Well, 4th down and a yard for a first down, 2 yards for a touchdown, and they're going for it. Ruckel under center. He's going to go on a quarterback keeper, try to go over the left side. The pile leans forward. It looks as though they may have a first down, but Riverside jumping up and down like they have done enough on defense to stop things. We'll have to see where they spot it. From our angle, we can't see much at all.
Well, it's the near side linesman who has the spot. Referee is going to call for a measurement. It's tough to see, of course, both teams pointing.
Yeah.
But
somebody's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we'll see when the chain gang going to come out.
And
Rain. All right, they're going to pull the chains out. We'll see what the sticks say, and it is Riverside's ball, just a wee bit short. So Riverside is held. I was going to say it'd be an interesting situation for Coach Hewitt, because you've got Tyler Hogan, the kicker, who is 5 out of 5 in field goals, and he's 17 out of 19 in extra points, which is basically where that was from. But decided, you know what, we're running the football well. Except for one play, really. You know, we've done it, and you know, the upside, if there is any, is Riverside has the ball with 99 yards to go.
Yeah,
down the other way.
Well, you're right. Hogan is a 2-year letter winner, and he's an experienced senior kicker, so that would have been 3 points. Hewitt decides, you know what, maybe we'll try to make a statement early, and of course Riverside now backed way up in their own end.
So the quarterback, John Watson, will go under center. He's got nobody behind him right now. They run the option. He will run to the left side, and he is going to keep it. He'll get stopped in the end zone for a safety. Could not get the corner, and Chardon's defense has come up big. A safety to get the first points on the board here tonight.
It looked like Zach Berry on the right side of that defense, the senior, the leader, the linebacker, and boy, just a great tackle. Questionable play call. You don't normally go wide when you're that deep.
Well, one of the things that they're dealing with at Riverside right now is John Watson, who is, you know, played quarterback about 50-50 last year. He's only a junior. He was a running back by trade, and they really like him. And that may be one of those things where on that read, you know, as soon as there's a little bit of hope, just cut it back and then get a yard or two, give us a little breathing room. But he tried to take it wide, and good pursuit there. And you talked about Zach Berry, the leading tackler on this Chardon Hilltopper team. That's his 50th tackle of the year, and that's a pretty big one. So the Toppers will get the football back as well. As we'll have Jesse Cassidy set to tee it up, and he'll do that at the 20.
Well, Craig, that 10-play, 67-yard drive that stalled, ends up, again, being the drive itself, taking the Beavers so deep, ends up resulting in the 2-0 score. 7:29 left in the first quarter.
And Bill Tilton from the News Herald is our official statistician tonight.
It's amazing when you have a tent,
That's
how
right.
everyone wants to be close to you.
They want to help you. So there's the kick, and it's headed again in the direction of Riley Hawkins. He's across the 40, 45, 50 with some room. To the 45, 40. He could go. He's to the 30. Foot race is on. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. Riley Hawkins takes it to the house. After the safety, Chardon comes right back and puts another dagger at Riverside. And now we're sitting at 8-0.
That was an easy run. It looked like Hawkins barely touched as he went through the line and really pulling away from the kicking team as he went in to score.
Well, Nick Ruckel will come in to hold. Again, we talked about Tyler Hogan. He's a senior, only 5'4", 125 pounds, but he's got quite a leg. 17 out of 19 in extra points, and he will wait for his offensive line to shuffle over.
Greg, Hawkins came out of last week's game. He was bumped up. He was bruised up a little bit. Good to see that he's playing, and it's helping Chardon.
Ruckel, the quarterback, with the hold. Hold is down. Kick is up, and that one is blasted through. And that one is good. So it's 7:18 to go here in the first quarter. Chardon, in a matter of moments, has put up 9 points on the board, and they lead at 9-0. Quite a nice little run there, and a nice way to come back after that safety.
Well, don't forget GTV's on the internet, and we have a new sister website. It's jogatv.net. And the great thing about this is you can see both channels 20 and 22 live anywhere at home. So if you don't have GTV, if you're not a Time Warner subscriber, go to jogatv.net, the streaming service, which is subscription-based. We also have a on-demand portion of the site as well. And for as little as $4, you can watch a show as many times as you'd like for up to a week. Streaming video of both channels, great for these types of sporting events, will be great for the holiday programs that GTV will have as we continue through into the fall and winter time. And so, you know, Grandma in Florida wants to watch this game here tonight, wants to watch Riley Hawkins. Let them know about the new service.
All right, 7:18 to go here in the first quarter. Chardon stunned Riverside so far. The Riverside will get their first legitimate drive at it here as Tyler Hogan will kick. Anthony Bilal will stand at the 5. There's a guy a little over 17 yards of return. 51 is his longest on the year. Saw Sam Marcotte, former Chardon kicker, roaming around the sidelines today. Here's Hogan, and he hits a short kick, and they're going to hit it to an area where nobody is. It's going to bounce, be picked up by one of the and there's a fumble. Ball is loose, and it looks like the Hilltoppers may have it. It looked like Cliff Hayes came up to try to grab it, and he dropped it, and the Toppers will get the turnover, and they've got the ball now. Back again with 7:14 to go.
Couldn't imagine a better start to this one for Chardon.
Well, you do it on defense, do it on offense, and now you do it on special teams. That's a pretty well-rounded 5 minutes or so. So now the Toppers will get it back.
Yeah, it's important for Chardon to come out on top like this because of the way that they move, the way that their offense is. They're not a team that can fall behind and strike quickly. This is setting up perfectly for them tonight.
Ruckel going to be in the shotgun. Actually, that's Ruckel going in motion. Excuse me.
Beninati was the quarterback.
Beninati was the quarterback, and they hand it to Ruckel, and he goes around the right side and gets it inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And TJ Beninati, a junior, and we're going to get a chance to see a lot of him running the football as well. He's got over 230 yards himself on the ground.
You know what's incredible about Beninati is if you look on the depth chart, Craig, that we were sent, he's right behind Barry at the fullback position.
Right.
So your backup quarterback is also your backup fullback, and we'll see him carry the ball tonight.
And now Beninati going to stay in a quarterback. Again, Ruckel to the near side. Runs a man in motion. That's Connick. Hands him the football. 2 hands on it as he comes across the left side and gets to the 25-yard line. He'll gain about 3 on that play and bring up a 3rd down and 5 yards to go. John Connick, a senior, sorry.
I was just going to say one of those players who's got 2 letters. He's been playing significant minutes on this team since he was a sophomore.
Looking up at the lights, just a light mist falling now, so not much of a factor. Now Ruckel goes under center. Beninati is the setback. That's Connick again going in motion. Ruckel going to run the option, pitches it back to Connick, see if he can get the corner. And he does not. He got smoked down at the 25-yard line. Coming up to make the play, Tyler Burdoff, the senior linebacker, and he picked up some ground in a hurry, and that may be a loss of a yard to bring up a third.
Flag came in there at the end.
That's why they still got third down.
Came from the back judge.
Okay.
So, wow.
Holding against Chardon. We'll see what Coach Bors decides to do. And he is going to take the penalty to move them back. Respecting the leg of Tyler Hogan and his ability to kick field goals, trying to get him out of field goal range and put it on his defense now to third down and about 15. They'll wind the clock up as we are almost halfway through this quarter. And Riverside has run one play so far. Got an official's timeout. Like we had a little equipment issue for the Beavers as they'll bring in Vince Tromba to be a defensive back now. So they run Connick now to the far side. The right wing is Muir. And that's Beninati behind the quarterback Ruckel, who rolls to his right. Looks like he might toss it up. Comes back to near side of Muir. Now he's going to cut back, and he got hammered at the 40-yard line. Ran right in to Steve Stocker, the defensive lineman, who dropped him at the 40 for another loss. So it looks like a pretty good idea of Dave Bors to take that penalty and really shove the Hilltoppers back. And it looks as though Jacob Kirsch and the punt team's coming on.
Jacob Kirsch, the kicker, another experienced player. He's got two letters. You look at Hogan and Kirsch, right? Kicker, punter combination. Those guys don't often get a lot of credit, but Chardon's got a really nice pair who have been doing this since they were sophomores.
Now, Marty Mackar, who works with the kicking specialist here, has been doing that for a long time, and just seems that's one thing you never have to worry about here at Chardon is kickers or punters.
Boy, the Hilltoppers, they're running a strange three-man motion, and Riverside just reached across and almost grabbed the Chardon player, and it's a 5-yard penalty.
That'll move it down to the 35-yard line. Kirsch averages about 31 yards a punt, but right now he is hoping to get something inside the 20. Rain is picked up again here in Chardon. A little bit of confusion on Chardon. A couple players were running off the field, and one said, oh, I suppose I need to be out there, so I'm going to run back. And now Connick will come off or back onto the field to give the play here. So it's a 4th down and 15. And again, Jacob Kirsch will stand in punt formation.
Now we have a delay.
Delay a game against, so there are the 5 yards they just got. They give right back. 4:44 to go here in the first quarter. It is 9-0 Chardon. So now Kirsch will stand in his own territory back at his 46-yard line to receive the snap. And it's a good one, and he's going to angle it toward the right side, gets it off, and now it cuts back toward the middle and it will bounce. Hit at the 5 and bounce into the end zone. Looked like it hit the toe of one of the Chardon Hilltoppers. I think that was Stephen Douglas that was down there, and it might have hit his toe and skipped into the end zone. So Riverside will actually get a little breathing room this time, Jamie, on this drive. We'll see what their offense can do. Down 9-0 with 4:36 to go, first quarter.
Please remember, nonprofit organizations from our funding communities can send us their announcements of interest at GTV P.O. Box 336 Chardon. You can fax them to 285-9897, or the easiest way is to email us at geaugatv@windstream.net.
So Watson will bring the offense out. Bilal will come to the near side. He does have a back behind him. I think it's Nate Vernon. And they're going to keep it, and nothing doing. Watson kept it and just did get back to the line of scrimmage before he was bowled under.
Yeah, a lot of toppers in on that play, including the senior Doug Cross.
Well, both of these offenses we see, whether it's the option or the wing, you know, you're putting generally the best athletes, the guys, the quarterback, because you're going to rely on him to run. And that's what they really liked about Watson, apparently, when they moved him to quarterback. Most running backs, but son, you're going to get to carry the ball probably more
right
as the quarterback than you were. So 2 wideouts come to the near side. That is Vincius and Bilal. Man goes in motion. They pitch it to Bilal. He'll come around the right side. He's across the 25, stays on his feet to the 30, and the foot race is on. He's to midfield. He's got one man to beat. He's to the 20. He's to the 10, to the 5, and he is out of bounds at the 2-yard line. He got knocked out of bounds. Looked like he might have stepped out of bounds before he got knocked out of bounds, but I think that was Stephen Douglas again, one of the cornerbacks that came and was able to track him down.
That's 78 yards. First it was Quinn Izar who kind of slowed him, and then you're right, just the other topper staying with the play. Looked like he was gone, but boy. Beavers really needed that play.
Boy, they did, and the ball spotted at the 2 now as Watson goes under center. He does have Vernon as the lone setback. Bilal goes in motion behind him. Over the left side and into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Steve Ivaskovic, who goes over the right side for his 6th touchdown of the season. So it was Ivaskovic in the backfield, not Vernon, and he took it and was pretty easily into the end zone. So now it's all of a sudden a 9-6 game.
Just one run kind of changed the whole complexion of this game, Craig, and that's one of the things that Mitch Hewitt has really worked on. He's a defensive guy. He was a
Jesse Cassidy's extra point is good. He is now 17 out of 19 on the season. And we've got a 9-7 game. So we got a ball game again.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Hewitt's a defensive guy. Chardon, a lot of people like to talk about the wing tee, and they like to talk about the offense that the Hilltoppers have run for so many years. But Hewitt, being a linebacker, playing at Bowling Green, being a defensive coordinator with West Geauga, and then last year with the Riverside Beavers, he wants Chardon to be a defensive team, and it's plays like that that really drive him crazy.
Well, we got 3:37 to go here in the first quarter. We've had all kinds of offense here. We did have a pseudo goal line stand there by Riverside. Is really the only defense we've seen so far in this game. Well, Riverside had a nice little go on defense the last time Chardon got the football. So we'll see Jesse Cassidy kick off. Riley Hawkins will stand at his 10-yard line. He is to the far side, and we've got Alex Muir to the near side. Hilltoppers will get the football back. Cassidy hears the whistle, and he'll approach the football, and he'll squib it. And that'll be covered right at the 35-yard line by one of Chardon's up receivers there.
Andrew Gray.
Yep. So he made the play. Nice job there. No sense trying to do something you're unfamiliar with. Cover the ball and give great field position here. We haven't given you the defense for the Beavers yet. Mike Giorgi, Steve Stocker, John Maxwell, Matt Miller up front. Sean Garvey, Steve Vaskovic, Chelo Lopez, Nate Vernon, and Tyler Burdoff in the middle. Cliff Hayes, Vince Tromba, and Adam Horvat, defensive backs. Nick Ruckel is under center. Big hard count. Hands the football off, and that is Zach Barry, and he gets across the 45 to the 48, maybe even the 49-yard line. That's a gain of about 13, and that's another first down. Zach Barry with a nice run. I mean, here's a kid with 600 yards on the ground, averaging almost 7.5 yards a carry. And he's a load. One
of the leaders on this team, no doubt. We talked about this game maybe being a quick one, but if these defenses can't tackle anybody, then that forget about it.
Janda back in the game. He splits to the wide side. They give it to Barry again. He breaks a tackle over in midfield, gets into the 45 to the 44-yard line of Riverside. That's a gain of nearly 8, and that'll bring up second down and short. Zach Barry, a senior, 5'11", 205, but he looks a heck of a lot bigger than that, doesn't he?
First time I met Zach Barry, he was a sophomore, and he had broken one of his fingers in his hand, but of course he wrapped it up and played right through. He's just that tough.
Janda again splits to the far side. Barry's the setback. Got Andrew Gray tight on the left side. And Ruckel kept it, and he got hammered back at the 50-yard line.
Nick Thomas, Jr.
He came shooting through there, and I think either way, if he gives it to Barry or he keeps it himself, they're not doing anything at all on that play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down, and looks to be about 5, excuse me. Clock is moving, 2:13 to go here in the first quarter, 9-7. Chardon leads Riverside. R.J. Pikus comes into the game. That is Connick going in motion, and they hand the ball off again. That's Zach Barry, and he's trying to battle for some yards. He got to the 44-yard line before he was swarmed under, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Looks to be about 3, so the Riverside defense does their job.
Coach Hewitt here, he's thinking about this. You know, don't see Kirsch yet. Now, yes, here he comes.
Yeah, had to do something there to see if they can pin Riverside back. So Kirsch will come on for the 2nd punt. That's something that Chardon, from what we've been doing, they haven't punted a lot in the last couple of weeks. They've been keeping the offense on the field. And we've got another timeout. Looks like Riverside's going to, that's their 2nd timeout, right?
Yeah, that's the 2nd one they've used, and in sort of a strange situation. You're about to get the football, and, you know, in football, you keep those timeouts because you might need them at the end of the half. But Coach Bors here obviously felt like he needed to talk about something with the special teams.
Minute 21 to go in the quarter.
Well, hey, don't forget high school sports, just part of our programming lineup here on GTV. Our coverage coming to a close here in the fall, but moving into the winter, we'll have Berkshire, Cardinal, Notre Dame, Cathedral Latin, and Chardon sports. And also, because we're approaching the holiday season, we're going to have all of the school functions that are going to be happening, both on channels 20 and 22. You can check the website, jogatv.org. That's the site you'd go to look at our schedule, see what's coming up, and also if you'd like to purchase any of our programs on DVD, jogatv.org, and you can sign up for our email service as well by just going to that website.
4th down and 2, ball at the 44-yard line. Nick Ruckel will come in. Now they're going to go for it.
Wow.
Go for it on 4th down and 2.
Hewitt thanking Boris for giving him a chance to think about it.
4th down and 2. That's Connick going in motion. They hand the ball over the left side. It's the big guy, Zach Barry, and he's got the 1st down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Picked up 5 on that play and made it look easy.
I can just imagine this conversation after the game, right? You've got the punt team out there. Coach Boris calls timeout. Mitch says, well, you know what? Then let's go for it. And now the drive continues. It's great.
1st down and 10, spotted at the 38-yard line. Coming up on 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Ruckel goes under center. Hands the ball again. That's Barry over the left side, and he doesn't get much. He gets actually ended up getting 3, now 2 now where the linesman spots it. So gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. Ruckel will have Barry in the backfield. Muir is to the left of Barry. Connick is the wing. Ruckel going to keep it. Got some room, 35-30, and he runs out of bounds. Ran right into the kicking net, but it's going to be close to a 1st down. He went out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, and it looks like he might be about a half a yard shy, and that stops the clock with 21 seconds to go.
Like the decision again by Ruckel to avoid the hit, avoid the contact, and live to see another down.
3rd down and 1. Muir to the right side, Connick to the left side. They split John Spear to the near side, split about 15 off the end. Muir goes in motion. He takes the hand up on the jet sweep, comes up the near side. He's got the 1st down and more. Stays on his feet down the sideline, and he is down.
Oh, I thought he was
at the 1. And I was waiting for a signal. I didn't see it. So
yeah,
inside the 1, it's a 1st and goal.
Look! Didn't it look like he was taken into the end zone? And of course, given the indecision by the referee, he very well may have been. But nevertheless, it's 1st and goal.
And we'll see. There's only 6 seconds to go. We'll see if Chardon decides, and that's what they will. Mitch Hewitt going to call the offense over and say, don't have to rush to the line of scrimmage there. We may as well take our time. We'll go down to the other end and let the other folks get a chance to see a touchdown maybe.
Yeah.
So we played 1 quarter here at Chardon Memorial Field, and good news so far for the Hilltoppers. They lead it by a score of 9-7. So pretty good first half, exactly what we thought. Did we see? We saw one pass, I think, in the first quarter.
And it was
that
a
might have been
screen.
it was a screen pass, and that was it. So they are who we thought they were as they come out tonight just running the football up and down. We got a good ball game, just kind of what we thought. Could go back and forth. The rain really starting to pick up here again, but again coming straight down.
Good crowd on hand on the other side for the Riverside. It's hard to gauge. We know Chardon always brings a lot of fans, but it's good to see the Riverside band right now playing, and there's a lot of people lined up along the fence line and in the stands over there as well.
Well, it's interesting. I was driving here today. I was at work in Eastlake coming up 44. I shoot over to Girdled Road to come in the back way, and I saw signs for Riverside's got a levee apparently.
Right.
And I'm thinking, we're dangerously close to Chardon as I'm driving in there. I mean, you don't realize, you don't think of them necessarily as neighboring communities and school districts because of where the schools are.
Right.
But the towns are, and who goes to those schools are definitely, right next door.
No, you're absolutely right. That's a great thing. And then the connections, the Boris Hewitt connection makes this really has turned into a really nice little rivalry.
Well, Zach Berry in the backfield. What do you think? Think he'll get the ball here on first down and goal?
It's likely.
Oh, he runs right into Ruckel and bounces him down at the 1-yard line. I think Zach thought he was getting it, and Ruckel decided he was going to spin and got knocked down. Doesn't look like, could have been worse, right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain, no loss, second down and goal. A little bit of a miscue there in the backfield. Zach Berry. 5 touchdowns coming into today. Ruckel again will bring them up. He will split John Spear out to the far side. That's Zach Berry. Now Ruckel going to try to go over the right side of the line. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Looked like a little second effort there. Nick Ruckel in for the score. 10th touchdown of the season. And with 11:13 to go, it is 15-7. Chardon with the lead.
The first quarter statistics, Craig, Chardon 22 plays to the Beavers 4. But Riverside, of course, with that one big run, they had 78 total yards. Chardon with 131, but again, 7 first downs to 1. So the Hilltoppers dominating the time of possession.
So Ruckel to hold for Tyler Hogan. Will attempt the PAT. The kick is up, man. That one is into the bleachers, and it is good. So with 11:13 to go here in the first half, Hilltoppers out on top. They answer the Riverside score with one of their own. Gutsy call by Mitch Hewitt, really going for it on 4th down and 2. But was able to get the Zach Berry run to pick up the first down.
This community so excited about Mitch Hewitt. They were the moment that it was announced that he would be the head coach. In fact, even before he was announced, it was the speculation was very high.
Well, Tyler Hogan is down on the ground. I don't know if he got run into after that kick, but he is down, and they're looking at his right knee, it looks like.
Oh, my.
And that would put a little crimp into things for the Hilltoppers.
Coach Hewitt now talking with the officials. I think whatever happened, and I missed it, I think Mitch is not happy with what happened after that kick.
Well, when you've got of course, they always talk about the kicker being alienated. And you can see all the pink in the crowd here tonight. Of course, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and everybody was encouraged to wear pink tonight, and a lot of the pink T-shirts and sweatshirts around the ballpark here today. Talked about it earlier about what a great cause that is. And very few people that that have not been affected by that just awful disease.
No, you're absolutely
and it's
right.
really nice that even at the high school level they can bring it down and bring awareness to it and hopefully do some good and get some positive thoughts toward that. As they're walking Tyler Hogan off the field, and he is very gingerly on his right tiptoe looking, but it looks like that might have been some part of his right leg or maybe even his knee, and now they just pick him up. I guess you can do that when you're 125 pounds, right?
He said, put me down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look good at all.
So that brings the sophomore Bobby Bukovic into kick.
You know, what's interesting about Bukovic is I was watching him warm up before the game. You know, a lot of schools don't have backup place kickers. I mean, it's hard enough to get one good one. I was watching Bukovic, though, warm up before the game and thinking to myself, boy, it's kind of neat that your backup place kicker is getting himself ready before this varsity game. So we'll have to see. Ruckel already, Craig, 9 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
So Bukovic pressed into action, and Anthony Bilal will stand back at the 10-yard line. Bukovic approaches the football, and he hits another short one that's going to be taken at the 32. Going on the far side across the 35 to the 36-yard line with Steve Vaskovic. So Chardon want no part of Bilal right now, back at and trying to kick to open spots and hoping that the ball will bounce like it did before, and they were able to get a fumble recovery. So now they'll give Riverside the football. Looks to be about the 36-yard line. Yep, 36-yard line. It'll be a first down and 10. 11:06 to go here in the first half. 2 wideouts, including Mike Vencias to the far side. They do bring Vernon in the backfield. He's a lone setback. And that's who has the football. He comes across the 40 to the 44-yard line. Nice gain of 8 on that first down play.
You know what I always find interesting, and you've covered enough of these games to understand when you've got guys who have been on the same staff, who actually traveled from school to school together, are close friends. They obviously know what their philosophies are, right? Dave knows Mitch's and vice versa. And so do you stick with your guns and do what the other guy might expect you to do, or do you maybe say, I'm going to throw a little wrinkle into what we do and try to catch the other guy unaware?
On a 2nd down and 8, Watson runs Bilal in motion, but hands the ball to Vernon. He's got the first down as he cuts back across midfield into Chardon territory before he is body slammed down at the 44-yard line. A nice defensive effort there by the Chardon Hilltoppers.
Rain is now really picked up.
Eric Meyerhoff on the tackle. Well, I think, in any sport, I still think you have to do what you do best and let the chip. I'm not saying you don't throw in a wrinkle, a trick play or a trick formation or something like that, but I certainly think that you just have to press on and do what you do and let them stop you. I mean, you got to respect the fact that they want to do something back to you. Yeah, it's pouring right now, just so you know. John Watson keeps it. Now he hands the ball off, and down to no gain on that play, stuck at the 44-yard line.
Start charging $1 to get people under this umbrella, and we make a quick buck.
Well, actually, give him a gain of a yard on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Hey, I noticed Craig Vernon, who's got the last 2 carries, doesn't wear any gloves. Going with the very few players will you see that do that, even at this level, the varsity level, and he's one of them.
Wow. That's Bilal going in motion. He takes the pitch, and he'll come back to the near side of the 40. He will stay on his feet and push forward to the 37-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Looks to be about 2 or 3. And just so you know, after 18 years having John next to me, coffee, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream at halftime, just so you know. It's your job, just so you know.
I've got that. Good. Although I don't, if this keeps up, I didn't bring an umbrella.
No, I have one that you can borrow.
Okay, then we're good.
I'm just kidding.
Then we're good, because this is...
No, if I'd have said that to John, you know what he'd have done?
Oh, I know.
couldn't say what he'd have said or done.
No, I know.
So, third down, I just thought I'd take a shot, maybe buy that, 3rd down and 4. And they hand the ball off again. That's Vernon, and he goes across the right side, across the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Just talking about John, and again, I had a chance to do a couple games with him, but the conversation before the game and after the game was probably always best. I remember when I introduced him to my fiance, he said, it's great to meet you. I'm John Walsh. Let me see the ring. Then he said, Where's the diamond?
Yeah, that'd be about right.
And you know, that's the way he was. But it was always fun.
First down and 10. The Riverside Beavers are on the march. Vernon stays in the backfield. That's Vaskovic going in motion. And again, it's a keeper by Watson across the left side, and he will get to the 27-yard line. So a modest gain there on first down, making second down and 7. Actually, might be closer to second and 8. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. 16-7, Chardon with the lead. They pitch it back. Bilal, left side. Back pedal, stays on his feet. Somebody's helmet came off. And he'll get inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, so a gain of about 3 or 4 there.
Chardon student section, Craig, with the Vuvuzela instruments. And they've got a lot of them.
Do you know how to spell that?
No, I don't.
Okay, I just was curious. I don't know either.
I'm just glad I pronounced it correctly. If you hear that loud humming, though, that's where that's coming from. And now it looks like the Riverside Band getting ready for their halftime show is maybe trying to get dry.
Vencia splits way out to the far side as a 3rd down and 5. And again, they go over the right side with Nate Vernon. And Vernon looks like he's got the first down as he gets to the 19-yard line. Needed to get just inside the 20 and was able to do so, and that's a first down. So Nate Vernon, some pretty good yardage on this drive for himself. Tough runner.
Yeah, this has been by far Riverside's most productive drive tonight.
They run Vencias to the far side, and Grayson Huck comes in. He will go to the near side. And what do we got? Delay a game. Yep. Back judge says that's a delay of game. That'll move them back. So they turn a 1st and 10 into a 1st and 15 back at the 24-yard line. 5:52 to go here in the first half. 16-7. Chardon with the lead.
That's a tough penalty.
Riverside, the second quarter for them has been their most prolific offensive quarter of the year. They've scored 45 of their 107 points in the second quarter.
Just heard one of the Chardon assistant coaches say that he thinks if they're going to pass, this would be an opportunity.
And quarterback Watson going to roll out. Now he does pass, and he tosses it to the far side and hits Vernon. That's his first reception of the year. And he got hit pretty hard once he caught that ball for a modest gain there. And that'll bring up a 2nd down, and looks to be about 11 to go.
Each team now with one throw. Could go back 50 years before the lateral pass was made legal. These teams would be just fine.
Second down, 11. And again, it's Vernon, the big running back, who carries a couple of tacklers near the 10-yard line. Be shy of a first down. That'll bring up 3rd down, but very manageable now for the Riverside Beavers. Actually, boy, our vantage point here was so low. I thought that was closer to the 10. That's about, gee whiz, 4 yards short of a first down. So 3rd down and 4. Big stand being asked for by the Hilltopper defense.
This is tough weather to kick in.
Watson surveys the defense. Now he'll go under center. Man in motion. And again, it's Vernon. And Vernon's got the first down as he gets inside the 10. A very workmanlike drive here by Riverside. They started about the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of time off the clock here. 4:55 once they wind it back up.
Needed 3, had 4.
So first down and goal. Cliff Hayes into the game. He'll split to the wide side with Vencius. They keep Vernon in the backfield. Now they're going to run the option. Watson keeps it, and he gets dropped about the 5-yard line.
Doug Cross, one of the Hilltoppers, in on that tackle. It looked like Joe Connick also helped him over there. Joe is John's younger brother, a sophomore, John being the senior, the 2 Connicks on this Hilltopper team.
So they spotted at the 6. It's a second down and goal. And Riverside taking their time in the huddle now. They'll bring out their center, Alex Harmon, and he'll come over the football as they run Vencius to the far side. Sticking with basically the same formation we've seen with Vernon in the backfield. And that's who gets it again, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Nate Vernon goes in for the score. Nate Vernon. That's his first touchdown of the year by my count. And now we've got a 16-13 game. And it looks like Jesse Cassidy's going to come in and attempt the point after, make it a 2-point game. So right now, if he gets this, the safety, the difference in the game.
It's exactly what the Beavers had come out here to do, and methodical drive.
And the kick is up, and the kick is right through. So with 3:40 to go here in the first half, Chardon with the 16-14 lead, and they will get the football back here momentarily.
Hey, don't forget the Chardon Athletic Boosters are going to host its annual Night at the Races on Saturday, November 5th at St. Mary's Church in Chardon. Tickets on sale now in the athletic department at the high school. And just a few updates in the Hilltopper sports community. Congratulations to the Chardon girls soccer team for defeating Madison Tuesday night 3-0. The girls will now play in their sectional tournament on Tuesday, October 18th, when they host Madison at 7 p.m. And the boys begin their sectional tournament also against Madison, though they'll have to travel. And they will play Monday, October 17th. So boys and girls soccer coming to a close here in Chardon.
Well, Jesse Cassidy will tee it up again. And going back for the Hilltoppers, we've seen this same duo back there, Alex Murrell and Riley Hawkins. Hawkins is on the near side, Muir is on the far side.
Craig, 13 plays, 64 yards, 7 minutes, 26 seconds on that drive.
And over-ender. Heads to Hawkins. He comes across the 25 to the 30, has a seam, and gets to the 32-yard line. I know that was an excellent drive by Riverside. Just kept their defense off the field. I mean, a lot of these guys go both ways, but kept the defense off the field.
I mean, that's 7.5 minutes.
Yep.
It's just both teams can do it. Now with 3:33, Chardon does have all 3 of their timeouts. So, you know, the games are often, I more and more at the high school level, I think games are won and lost at exactly this point in the game.
Yep.
Coaching and what are they going to do?
Well, sometimes you're thinking about running out the half, and next thing you know, you give up a big score, you know?
Right.
That's Zach Berry, and he'll get in across the 35 to near the 36-yard line, so a modest gain of about 4 on first down, so second down and 6 coming up. Next week we'll have high school football for you again. We'll be out at the Spire, is it the Spire Institute, I think they call it out there, the old great thing out in Geneva. We'll have NDCL and Benedictine. That ought to be pretty good too.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that next week.
Lions playing well under Byron Morgan.
And Ruckel going to keep it. He's going to go around the far side. He's across the 40, and he's run right into the Riverside bench. So Ruckel with a nice run. We'll have to see how close he is to the first down. It's hard to tell the angle that he went out of bounds. It looks like he's going to be about 1.5 yards short. I remember covering Byron Morgan when he was the head coach at Mayfield High School before he went to Solon, before he retired, and then before he went to NDCL.
And he was also
go back a few years.
Inducted into the OHSAA Hall of Fame after he was done with those first 2 schools.
He played in the NFL with the New England Patriots.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. Third down. That's the one tip I brought to the table today. Third down and 1. Ruckel keeps it, and he's going to be close to the first down. He faked it to Barry, and Barry would have been dropped for a 2-yard loss. Ruckel pulled it back out of his belly and tried to get around the far side. But it looks like he's still going to be just a wee bit shy of the first down, about a half a yard or so.
It was a good tackle there on the far side to cut out Ruckel's legs and not let him extend. We were just handed a note, Craig, that Tyler Hogan has gone into the locker room. So we won't be seeing him at least again here in this first half. And by the way he was hopping around, who knows if he'll be back.
Ruckel just kind of waiting around to let the clock go down a little bit. There we go.
I got to tell you,
take a timeout now. So they wanted to run as much of the clock down as they could, and then take a timeout, and then they can decide exactly what they want to do here, whether they want to go for it or whether they want to punt it away.
Well, with 1:59 and the Beavers with 1 timeout, I would just kick. I would have no reservation about kicking the ball away here. Yeah, it surprises me because when you run the ball as often as these 2 teams do, you'd think that you'd generally be more conservative when it came to making decisions like this. But oftentimes it's not. This is one of those plays where if you do go for it and you get stopped, you're going to give the Beavers a short field with 1 timeout. And if they go in and put more points on the board before halftime, now you're losing. So that's just my very amateur opinion on what I don't proclaim to know anything more about football than the guys who get paid to do this. But it's the safe route.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there's a big emotional swing. If you can, you're still going to give them the ball back at, with less than 2 minutes to go, but you'd certainly like to have them go 80 or 90 yards than 40-some yards, and they're going to
go for it.
Ruckel's going to go out there. This is
wow.
Well, we'll see. Well,
I don't think they can call back-to-back timeouts.
No,
so.
I mean the only thing you could do is try to draw them off sides, take a delay of game penalty maybe. So Ruckel going to go under center. He's got Barry behind him. 4th down and less than a yard. Long count. They run the man in motion. That's Muir.
I think that might be what they're trying to do.
And no, we've got a timeout.
Oh, so back to
they
back.
Can, yeah. Maybe it's in the NFL only. I don't know. I haven't read my high school rule book lately.
Don't say that. Dave Jevnikar will have one in your email box tomorrow.
That's fine. Saves me trying to find one. So they thought about trying to draw him off sides, and we'll see if now we will see Jacob Kirsch. And we will. So they'll come back out on the field. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have the Chardon Hilltopper marching band for you. And then after the band is done, we'll come back and we'll have some expert analysis of what went on here. We'll give you the Bill Tilton stats. And we'll have all that coming up for you at halftime. So stick around at halftime for the band. We'll watch them. Well, in the old days, they'd be sloshing around in the mud. Now they're just got all those little black pellets stuck to their shoes.
Yeah, Melissa Lickler does a great job as the band director, and you'll see Sarah Cunningham, who's the field marshal, up on the scaffolding.
4th down and a yard. Kirsch to punt. Bilal will stand back inside the 30. It's a good snap. Kick is off, and it's a high, good kick to the near side. Bounces at the 20 and takes a Chardon bounce. Inside the 10, inside the 5 to the 4. Outstanding punt by Jacob Kirsch as he pins Riverside way deep. And that took 12 seconds off the clock just to do that. So 1:47 to go here in the first half, and it's 16-14. But Riverside will get the football back. Now, the last time they had a very nice drive, but it took them over 7 minutes to do it. So
right,
Chardon just looking to keep the clock running, keep them in bounds, and keep the clock ticking away here, and hopefully go into halftime with a lead.
Yep. Make sure you make the tackle. 1 timeout for the Beavers in this situation. Now, we did see Bilal run that 78-yard run on the right side of the field, but Chardon has to anticipate that. And, boy, you couldn't have asked for a better kick from Jacob Kirsch, who happens to be a great varsity catcher as well. So
They run Vaskovic in the backfield instead of Vernon right now. And that's who gets the football, and he is across the 5 to the 7, maybe the 8-yard line. So a little bit of breathing room there. Clock continues to tick away. Minute 35 to go here in the first half. 16-14. Chardon with a 2-point lead, courtesy of a safety back in the first quarter.
Adam Bilal now into the game, number 12 for the Beavers. It doesn't look like Coach Boers and company, it looks like they want to go into halftime with where it's at.
Yeah, we've got a timeout. Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion on Riverside's part. They had a guy come on late, run off late, and now they're going to talk about it. Their final timeout with 1:10 to go here in the first half. And Chardon with a 2-point lead here.
Hey, don't forget birthdays, anniversaries, and other special occasions can be made more special through GTV. Just send us your pictures, and we can help highlight the event. If you're sending a physical copy, please enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. Once again, the address GTV P.O. Box 336 Chardon 44024, or email us at geaugatv@windstream.net. I can't imagine many people are still mailing photos for something like this.
No, you got those old-time photos. You get a guy as old as me, and you want to send in a photo when I was a much younger man. It's the only thing you got. Short of maybe scanning them now, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But even that is a lot easier than the other way. But
well, I'll tell you what, just prepping for these games, in the 18 years that I've been with GTV and have done this over 25 years now, in the old days it was, Coach, read me your starting lineup, Then it became the fax machine came in, and it's like, oh my goodness, this thing is really cool. And then they hooked everything onto an email with the stats and the roster and the lineups and thanks for playing, and you got it back in 20 minutes. It's unbelievable, the technology now.
What could get easier than an email?
Oh, I know. All right, so it's a 2nd down and 6 for Riverside. John Watson under center. They run Tromba in motion. And Watson just keeps it, gets across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Clock will tick away a little bit more now. It'll be 3rd down. They can take a decent amount of time off this clock here.
Just one timeout left for the Hilltoppers, and it's going to be 3rd down and short. So I don't know what they might be thinking about. But Craig, Chardon 22 plays in the first quarter, and then just 6 in the second. So still they have the lead though.
3rd down and 3. This could be the last play of the first quarter here, or the first half, excuse me, as Watson hands the ball off, and across the left side, not much doing there. Maybe a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Hewitt wants to use it.
Yep, he's going to use the last time out, make them come. You could get a bad snap on a punt. You might be able to block something.
Sure.
A lot of things that can happen, especially this deep in the territory.
And in this weather, no question, You make them kick it here, and it looks like Nick Ruckel is going to come onto the field as the return man.
Yeah, a lot of times we'll see Riley Hawkins back there, but it's been Nick Ruckel here today. So 4th down and 2. Adam Horvat will come in to punt. He's a sophomore, again averaging about 31 per kick. So the scoreboard telling us that there are no timeouts left on either side. Rain still falling, but not nearly as heavy as it was earlier, but still a nuisance. Well, Jeff Foreman from the News Herald assured me that as soon as he put his rain gear on his camera that we would not see any rain, so he lied. So here we go, Adam Horvat. So we'll see his rainy photos in the paper tomorrow. Horvat with a nice high wobbly kick. Ruckel calls for a fair catch and takes it at the 39-yard line. 10 seconds to go here. So you might have time for maybe a throw. Well, you don't have a timeout left either, so you can't even do that. So we'll see what they decide to do here.
I would take a knee. Even a simple run could somehow backfire. Take a knee. You've played a very good first half, and 16-14.
I like your conservative nature.
You see strange things happen in these types of situations. Chardon really can't help themselves. You're not going to run a Hail Mary here. Ruckel is not going to put the ball into the end zone. Now, Beninati, though, is the quarterback.
Yep. Beninati comes in to take the shotgun snap on a first down. Ruckel going in motion, fakes the handoff. Beninati going to keep it, and he'll get across the 35 to the 33-yard line, and that will do it. We have played one half of football at Chardon Memorial Field, and it's been a fun one to watch. The Chardon Hilltoppers will go to the locker room, and they'll be leading it by a score of 16-14. We'll step aside. The Chardon band coming your way. We'll have some thoughts on the first half and hopefully throw some numbers at you as well. Once again, you're listening and watching to Chardon Hilltopper football. We are at halftime, and the Hilltoppers lead it 16-14.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2011 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. Our field commanders are Sarah Cunningham and juniors Ryan Gillespie and Chrissy Savitas. Up first by the pop-punk band Blink-182, here is All the Small Things. Eyeshadow, popped your collar, you were probably alive in the 80s. Here's one of those old familiar rock tunes featuring our top Reds with captains Megan Connolly, Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll. We close tonight's show featuring our majorettes. Our band now rocks out to the Go-Go's. Here is We've Got the Beat. Topper fans, put those hands together for the Chardon High School fight song.
And welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the band. Craig Dees along with Jamie Ward. We're just getting ready for second half action here as the Hilltoppers lead the Riverside Beavers by a score of 16-14. We've got some Bill Tilton halftime numbers for you. Jamie, what do we got?
Yeah, well, you know, they're very even when you take a look at them. Chardon 23 total plays to Riverside's 21. Offensive total yards, the Hilltoppers 148, Riverside 155. Hilltoppers have 7 first downs to the Beavers 5, and then just the 1 turnover, which was a Riverside fumble, although, of course, Chardon turned the ball over, not technically a turnover in the box score, but on 4th down when they went for it, didn't get it. And so, I don't know, that's about as even as you get, within 7 yards of each other.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Within 2 plays of each other and 2 first downs. Nick Ruckel highlighted for the Hilltoppers, 11 carries, 58 yards and a score, and Anthony Bilal, 4 carries, 98 yards for the Beavers. Of course, 78 of those yards came on just the 1 carry. So the Hilltoppers actually have kind of kept him in check, but I think we can expect much of the same in the second half.
Here we go. Well, we have gotten some word on Tyler Hogan. It appears to be some sort of a knee injury, so he will be gone for the rest of the day. So that'll put it in the hands of Bobby Bukovic. He will get a chance to show what he's made of here tonight. So he will kick off, and back deep is Anthony Bilal. But again, it's another shorter kick, and that's caught and dropped by Cliff Hayes. He comes up the sideline. Now he's got some room. He's got Bukovic. He cuts back toward the middle, and he'll go down in Hilltopper territory. Nice job by Bukovic to get in his way and force him back to the middle.
You know, it really was. He flew out of the scrum there, and Bukovic just put enough deke on him to slow him up and let some other guys come along. So give the sophomore some credit.
But not before a huge kickoff return there. Hayes, a guy that when he does, we saw him fumble the ball earlier. Here's a guy that almost 30 yards on every return. That was more than that. So it's all the way down to the Chardon 37-yard line, where it'll be a first down and 10.
It's been a steady rain here, Craig, for about 90 minutes now.
Glad I brought my umbrella for the walk back to the car. Well, they don't give us private parking here. I think I might work on that for next year. Here's the first down and 10, and the quarterback, Watson, kept it. He drops it back to Vaskovic, and he'll go back down at the 45-yard line. Watson was almost down, try to get it back to Vaskovic, and he caught it and fumbled it around, and he will go down. He's going to spot it officially at the 44-yard line. Big loss on first down.
Zach Berry again and Paul Judd in on that play. And, yeah, not the best decision by the quarterback there, Watson, and Beavers really kind of fortunate to maintain possession.
Sometimes you just got to eat it, you know, and that could have been a lot worse. Second down, it looks to be about 17 yards to go here. They pitch it. Coming to the near side is Bilal. He tries to get around the corner, stays on his feet across the 40, stays on his feet to the 35-yard line. And that'll be shy of a first down by about 7 or 8 yards, but a good chunk of yardage picked back up there by Anthony Bilal, the senior.
Cross, Berry, and Judd again in on the tackle, but after he was hit, he kept going, and now it's a third down and long.
Looks to be about 9 to go. And the rain picks up again here in Chardon. 10.5 to go, third quarter, just underway. Glad you could join us today for GTV's coverage of Chardon Hilltopper football. John Watson under center, runs Bilal in motion. Then he handed the ball off to Nate Vernon, and he goes nowhere. Might have lost a yard on that play. Boy, Watson kept his hands on the ball a long time after Vernon got it. I think he was thinking about pulling it back out, but did not.
Great way to start the second half for the Hilltoppers and try to build some momentum. You know what I'm really impressed by, Craig? The Chardon student section, I don't see one umbrella up.
Yep.
They didn't even bring them.
Well, you can only get so wet. Under 10 minutes to go as Horvat punts it away. It's a high, wobbly kick. Fair catch is called for by Ruckel, and boy, he lunged forward to get that one at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Tyler Burdoff there for Riverside, almost guilty of blocking Ruckel up after the fair catch. But
well, Nick Ruckel will look toward the sideline as Chardon will get the football back. So a good defensive stop there by the Hilltoppers.
You look, Craig, at the Hilltoppers this season, and the third quarter has been a great quarter for them. They've allowed just 35 points defensively, and they tend to come out and do well after halftime as well. So let's see what they've got here tonight.
Stephen Douglas will split to the far side, or the near side, excuse me. Zach Berry is the setback. That is John Connick going in motion. And Ruckel's going to keep it. He's around the far side. He's got some room. He's across the 30, on his feet to the 35, 40, and he's down at the 43-yard line. Excellent run by Nick Ruckel, the senior quarterback. Big gainer there, and Chardon on the move already.
Ruckel, so athletic. Again, second time we've mentioned that Ruckel wearing the tall pink socks. Really, some of the players have some pink here or there, but Ruckel really showing it. And it doesn't surprise me knowing Nick. You know, very great kid, great basketball player.
You certainly can find him out there, that's for sure. So the ball is at the 43-yard line. It's a first down and 10. Berry again is the setback. That again is Connick going in motion. We got some movement. We haven't had too many flags here today. A couple delays, really, but that'll be a false start called on the Hilltoppers, and that'll move them back 5 yards.
No, it's a good sign. We saw a couple flags in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, I think all we saw were delays. You know, there's been, I think, one holding. No major penalties from either team.
So they'll move it back. It's a first down and 15. They'll wind the clock up, and this play will take place with under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. John Spear comes to the near side. That is Connick as a wing to the near side, and Muir the wing to the far side as Connick goes in motion. They hand the ball off. It's Berry, and he gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, but is able to muscle his way for about 2 yards there over the right side. Looked like he got stood up, but was able to muscle his way for a couple of yards. Looked like Nick Thomas was on the tackle for Riverside. That'll bring up a second down and 13. Toppers will split Jason Janda now to the near side. Same wings in the ball game with Zach Berry. That time they run Muir in motion. He takes the handoff. He's got some room across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Nice gain of 6, maybe even closer to 7 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7 to go.
Great decision there by the junior. Cliff Hayes, the cornerback, came in with great position, and Muir just cut it inside for the positive yards.
You know, looking at this Chardon Hilltopper team, I was talking to the coaches before the game. You know, Will Blankenship is a senior left tackle. Everybody else on the offensive line is coming back. You know, Ruckel's going to be leaving, but you've got Bonatti, who has done a good job at quarterback as well. So, I mean, they're starting to see that little foundation being built. Muir goes in motion. Ruckel going to keep it, and he gets squashed right at the line of scrimmage. Try to cut it back, but nowhere to go there. You know, Muir's coming back. Barry, of course, will leave. You'll see John Connick, one of the wings, leave as well. But a pretty good core of kids coming back, at least on the offensive side of things, next season.
No question. One of the guys to highlight, too, Cal McGee, 6'7", 325 pounds. He started the year on the defensive line. That's where they kind of saw him going, and now he's been switched to the offensive side. And, Craig, the Toppers are going to go for it here on 4th down.
4th down and 8. No, they got their punter in.
Oh, never mind.
Jacob Kirsch.
Sorry about that.
We'd have really had an issue there. I was thinking, it was like, wait a minute. Coach Hewitt has been pretty aggressive here, and it's worked for him. Good snap. And that is a shank. Oh, boy, that's not going to be good. That hits at the 42 and goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So that's a net of about 14 yards by my count. So that happens, too, to the punters. You know, their shoes get wet and the hands get slippery, and it come off the side of his foot as Kirsch try to roll out a little bit and then kick it. But not too good that time, and that'll give Riverside pretty good field position. So all of a sudden now the defenses have both caught up here in the second half as we're almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. Still sitting at a 16-14 Chardon lead. They pitch it back, coming around a near side.
Flag
and
down.
as a flag goes down as the running back, Vaskovic, gets pushed out of bounds at midfield. We got an illegal block below the knees, looks like the preliminary signal. That flag was all the way back at the 39-yard line. If they take that from the spot of the foul, it'll be about a 14-yard penalty, and that's going to be the call.
Yeah, erase a really nice gain, too. Well, you know, you can't, you tack on 10 yards here from the spot of the foul, and it's a lot harder. You know, some teams that we've seen this year, like a North or a South, a team that spreads it out 5 wide, big hitters, this is not as much of a problem. Teams like Chardon, teams like Riverside, dedicated to the run. This 1st now and 20 becomes, you know, a much different situation.
Yep. So 1st down and 20. They run Benicius to the far side. John Watson under center. And he's got Nate Vernon in the backfield who had a pretty good first half, but they pitch it. That's Bilal. He's got some room, but that room closes up quickly as he gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line. So he got some decent yardage there on 1st down, but not the big hitter that I'm sure they were hoping for. This Bilal, 6.5 yards a carry when he touches the football. And we saw that great 78-yard run that he had earlier. 2nd down and 14 as we are halfway through the 3rd quarter here. 16-14 Chardon. Benicius comes to the near side. Hopefully there's some folks that are still listening to us on the webcast here today. Try to keep you informed of what's going on. They pitch it out to Bilal. Goes along the left side. Got picked up and dropped after a gain of about 3. So when it gets spotted, it's going to be a little bit more than 10 yards to go for a 1st down on the 3rd down coming up.
Looked like Joe Connick was one of the Hilltoppers, a safety in on that play. Bilal maybe trying a hurdle and didn't work out, and so now 3rd and long.
Well, you talked about Nick Ruckel and his pink socks. So you can always find him on the field. If you go on the Riverside sideline, you can always find Coach Boers, because I've never seen him coach a game where he hasn't worn shorts. And I mean some miserable weather. Always got the shorts on.
Yeah.
Now, if he was wearing pink shorts, now we'd be on to something. That would be interesting. And there's a flag. The referee threw that flag. What do we got?
Might be.
Too many men on the field, man. Yep, too many men on the field. Legal participation. So that'll move them back 5. They had 12 men on and 1 shot off at the end. And the referee said, nope, not allowed to do that. We're going to push it back 5.
Yeah, and now back even further, 3rd and 16 coming. We've seen Riverside throw the ball 1 time. It was a complete pass for about 5 yards. Chardon's thrown it 1 time, a screen pass that went for negative yards. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what maybe do they try to throw the ball. It looks like they have a few more wide receivers than usual.
And they've got Stephen Douglas, who's got 3 picks already for Chardon, matched up against Venetius. And they pitch it back, and that's Bilal. He'll go across the 40. He's got some room to the 50, and he's going to get the first down into Chardon territory at the 42-yard line. I meant Vencius, not Venetius. Vencius was the wideout on that play, but, boy, that's a tough break for the defense of the Hilltoppers, who had him 3rd down and a mile.
You know, that's a great decision by Watson. I have to imagine on that particular play, he could have thrown it downfield. He could have kept it himself, or he could have went for the flip, and that's what he chose to do. It worked out very well.
Wideout split to the far side is Grayson Huck. Vaskovic went in motion. Watson takes the hand and gives it to Nate Vernon, who goes for 3 tough yards.
Neil Thomas on the inside there for the Hilltoppers, doing a nice job.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 as the clock continues to roll. Under 4 minutes to go now, 3rd quarter. Had some pretty good offensive showings in the first half so far. The defense has been the name of the game here in the second half. Grayson Huck stays in the game, splits wide to the far side. Dylan Gooch to the near side. Now they go with 2 backs in the backfield, and they hand it to Bilal. He goes around the right side. They almost had him. Now they pin him down, and they get him at the 38-yard line. Good swarming defense there. Might have got a yard on that play, but Bilal broke a tackle, but then 2 other Hilltoppers were there.
Yeah, great job by Judd to keep containment on the outside, and then Tyler Carver, the senior, came in and finished him off. A guy like Bilal and his sort of speed, you get him in the open field, you really have to keep your head about you, and Hilltoppers did there.
3rd down and 7. No gain on that last play.
Student section raising the noise level over to our right.
Vaskovic and Bilal in the backfield, and they put Vernon on a wing. They pitch it out to Vaskovic. He cuts back, and he's got the first down inside the 30 to the 28, maybe the 27-yard line. Doug Cross, the Mike linebacker, was one of the men on the tackle there, but not before they get another first down.
You know, it's tough, so tough on your defense when you play as well on the beginning of the drive and then twice on 3rd and long. Riverside is able to run a ball and get the first down.
Well, I'll give my only shameless plug of the night. Do Lake Erie College football on ESPN 970 WFUN on Saturdays, right? That is their problem. 2nd, 3rd down and long just kills them every time. So I'm watching a mirror image of that here at some points tonight, where Chardon is doing such a good job on 1st and 2nd down and then struggling on that 3rd down. And there's a flag, or excuse me, a whistle and timeout for Riverside. Could not get the play off. Dave Boers did not want to take a delay call there, so they'll have a 1st down and 10 at the 28 when play resumes. I'm allowed 1 shameless plug a week. That's part of my contract.
As many as you'd like, Craig.
But, and of course, speaking of Lake Erie, though, Sam Marcotte is the kicker, former Chardon kicker. Does such a great job out there. He's kicking and punting now. And I saw him here today probably schooling some of the up-and-comers.
Well, Sam's older brother, Alex, the soccer coach, assistant soccer coach, but he's got a lot of, in fact, he's down on the sidelines right now. He's got a really big hand in on the soccer program, so the Marcottes never straying too far. You know, I've come down here, I've walked by this stadium at night and seen Sam, since he's graduated, kicking field goals, working on it with a group of guys. So
that's Marty Makar's group, and he's been doing the kicker since his son Scott was here back in the late 90s. Has been working with the kickers. He also works with Sam and the kickers at Lake Erie as well, and he's He is a true specialist in that, and that's why Chardon never has to want for a kicker. And we've seen Bukovic come in today, and the game plan is not to kick it deep and kick it to a spot, and we've seen him do that, as the sophomore, All right, so here we go. 1st down and 10 now as Nate Vernon stays in the game. He's in the backfield. That's Vaskovic going in motion. But Vernon is the one that takes the handoff and gets a pretty solid 4 yards on that 1st down play. 2 minutes exactly to go here in the 3rd quarter. 16-14, Chardon with the lead.
Coach Boers used that timeout, as you said, to avoid the penalty. I think that's a good use of a penalty. But we've seen Riverside burn up their penalties a lot earlier than they'd like to. Or timeouts, I'm sorry. Timeouts. And so as we move forward, that certainly can become an issue.
Nate Vernon in the backfield. That was a fumble on the snap, but the quarterback, John Watson, was able to pick it up and made something out of nothing there as he gets close to a 1st down, about a yard shy. 3rd down and 1 coming up. 1:20 to go, 3rd quarter.
We're getting a decent fog/haze now rolling in as well.
It's like London.
You are right, though. You can only get so wet. So, these guys out here they've reached that level.
Reached the saturation point. So it is Vernon and Bilal in the backfield behind Watson as we're under a minute to go, 3rd quarter. Big play here on a 3rd down and 1 for the Chardon defense, and they hand the ball to Bilal, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. He got hit by Neil Thomas, who was the first man to make the tackle. We'll see where they spot it.
It looks like the line judge on the near side of the field is going to give him the spot.
Yep. The ball is inside the 23-yard line, so they needed to get past the 23. So that'll be a 1st down and 10 to go here as they wind the clock up. 40 seconds to go here, 3rd quarter. Rainy night here in Chardon. If you're listening to our web stream, you are nice and high and dry, and so are we, thanks to the GTV Loge that they erect for us here each and every week. 1st down and 10 now is Vernon, the lone setback now. Bilal goes in motion to the far side, and Vernon, actually the quarterback, kept it. Boy, I tell you what, he takes a long time of deciding whether he's going to give it or keep it, and that time he almost dropped it, but he'll pick up a yard or two as we will come to the end of 3 quarters. So we played 3 quarters of football here at Memorial Field in Chardon, and we've got the same scores we had at the half. It is Chardon 16 and Riverside 14, so hang on. We've got a good 4th quarter coming up. Exciting ball game here tonight. It's what you always hope for when you're doing a game on TV or anywhere just coming as a fan. You want it to be, of course, you want your team to win, but you certainly want a good game, and we've got that here tonight. Yeah,
and we expected that. Let's go ahead and once again thank our cable subscribers for their franchise fees, all of our funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. Again, they are Burton Village, Chardon Township, the City of Chardon, Hamden Township, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township. Thanks again so much for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers.
Yep, been around a long time. Continue to crank out some good sporting events, and as you mentioned before, all the holiday events coming up. I know that that's a staple on GTV, and it's hard to believe we're just around the corner from that.
You haven't mentioned, too, I got to ask you, Craig, what you obviously do tweeting in your capacity.
I do.
And so GTV also with a Twitter. You can get all the latest replay news and other important information by joining GTV on Twitter. You'll have all the latest. GTV Replays is the handle if you're...
Oh, no, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I'll have to start following Super Dave Jebnikar.
Absolutely.
GTV Replays. 2nd down, 7. Just underway now. 4th quarter as John Watson goes under center. Pitches it back to Bilal. He cuts it back. He gets to the 10, to the 5, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Anthony Bilal goes into the end zone, and now Riverside has taken their first lead of the evening as they go on top 20-16.
Near side there, Bilal just shot out like a cannon right to the corner of the end zone. None of the Hilltoppers could cut him off. And Chardon, who has led since the very beginning of this game when they started with a safety, now finds himself behind.
No, you can't teach speed, and you can't teach that second gear. And that's what Bilal, and he found that corner. Boy, just kind of kicked it in and right into the corner, right into the end zone and inside the pylon. And they're going to go for 2 here.
So make it a 6-point game.
Watson getting Vencius to the far side, and now we've got what?
They've got to use another one.
Another timeout, and not happy is the coaches for Riverside. Is Vencius was supposed to be on the near side, on the Riverside side, and he was on the wrong side, and things got all fouled up. So that's the second timeout. And again, you talked about it earlier. In a game this close, you really like to hang on to it, especially when you're a team that runs the football.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And so you figure that the game is going to be close toward the end, and we'll see if it affects them in any way. You know, of course, this is a very important play. So if there is a breakdown of some point, you do have to use it. But what you hope is that you're better prepared. You're not coming close to getting a delay of game on first down. You've got your 2-point ready. You figure that's ready before the touchdown, right? I mean, you know you're going to go for 2. It's a 4-point game right now, so you're not making it 5 in the fourth quarter does you no good. Go for the 2 to make it 6, especially considering Hilltoppers without their starting place kicker, making an extra point potentially precarious. So,
or the fact that you've got to kick 2 field goals instead of
right.
to tie it, and not 2 field goals to win it, if it would ever come down to that. A lot of strategy involved as we've got Nate Vernon in the backfield behind John Watson. Watson sends Bilal in motion, pitches it his way. He'll try to cut it back, and he's easily into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So I guess you could say a good timeout used there. At least if you're gonna call a timeout, you may as well be successful in what you were trying to accomplish. And Riverside is taking the lead right now, 22-16, but a long way to go here. 11:54 to go in the game. Chardon will get the football back. They've been unable to score here in the second half, but certainly moved the football pretty well all evening.
Yeah, you know, Hilltoppers need to stay with the game plan. They've had a few big plays out of Ruckel, but they haven't broken anything open yet. And I can tell you from watching Chardon a number of times this year, they like to stick with things. They like to go with Barry. They like to then run out of that gun and fake one way and go another. And it seems like the offense always has something that they hold back, that they wait, and they usually have a big play at some point.
Well, they'll have Riley Hawkins to the far side of the field to our left, and Alex Muir to the near side of the field, awaiting the place kick from Jesse Cassidy.
Got to think that they're not going to kick the ball to Hawkins. He's already got a kickoff return today.
And they switch sides, too. And here comes the kick, and it is going to be dumped toward the far sideline, and that will go out of bounds. So that's good news for the Hilltoppers. I'm sure that Jesse Cassidy was hoping that thing would kick up and bounce and maybe even give his guys a chance to recover it. But as it is, they'll kick it out of bounds, and the Hilltoppers will get excellent field position here with 11:54 to go in the game, and they trail now 22-16.
What's happened here? It looks like they're going to have to kick the ball again.
Well, they can make them kick it, huh?
It's interesting. They would have started at the 35, but instead they'll move back 5 yards and try it again. I like that. What I'd like to see is if they try another squib in the direction of, say, Nick Lippert is on the far side. That seems to where they like. I'd like to see him pick it up and try to and get something with it. Not just immediately fall down. You could easily start at midfield or better.
Right. Well, and Lippert's a guy used to handling the football. I mean, he's a skilled guy. All right, so they'll tee it up now at the 35-yard line. Jesse Cassidy approaches the football, and he does squib it. Lippert will go down on one knee. Got past him, and now the ball squirts out of bounds right at about the 35-yard line. So not much of a change of where they went, except a couple more seconds tick off the clock here, but still plenty of time left as Nick Ruckel brings out the offense. Ruckel, the last one off the bench after getting the play called on the sideline, and Riverside's defense hoping for a stop here. Ruckel will go from the shotgun. He will bring Spear to the near side along with Muir. And he'll run Connick in motion. And it's Ruckel going to keep it. He's got some room, and he gets collared down across midfield to the 48-yard line before he was dragged down. It was Cliff Hayes making the tackle, and he had him around the neck and maybe even in a horse collar type area there. We'll have to see if that's what the flag is all about. Could right be. At midfield.
Yeah, that would be that's a severe one. Ruckel tried to put the stiff arm down. I think we're going to be tacking on.
Personal foul, face mask. So knew he had him around the head or the neck, but it's a face mask call, and that'll move it all the way down to the 35-yard line. So tack on another. So after a 15-yard run, tack on another 15 yards, and Hilltoppers have the football. They wind it up with 11:43 and counting. Roger Davis splits to the wide side. That's Muir in motion, and he takes the handoff around the far side. Down the sideline, he's got some room. He's to the 10 to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, 35-yard run. Alex Muir on a jet sweep around the far side, and the Hilltoppers have come back to tie the ball game now at 22, just like that.
2 plays is all it took, 65 total yards, and, you know, they didn't do anything differently than they've been doing all night. You fake it to Connick, Ruckel keeps it, then you give it to Muir. Always amazes me how the Hilltoppers can stay dedicated to what they're doing, and eventually it pays off. It's like Novocaine, just give it time, it'll always work.
Bobby Bukovic to attempt the point after, and he has that one blocked. And to your point exactly, you don't know what you're going to get now in a game situation like this. Bukovic's probably been kicking on the JV team, but Ruckel's a different holder and a different snapper, and the timing and all that, not expecting to go today. And so that makes Dave Boers' decision to go for 2 look like very, we're tied now instead of down by 1.
Yeah, no question about it. And, what Bukovic now needs to do is he's got to just immediately pick himself up and stay with it here, because I can tell you there's nobody else on this Chardon roster that's going to be kicking the football. And now he's got to come back and kick it off.
So despite the touchdown by Chardon, you might think a little bit of momentum swing toward Riverside as it's a tie ball game. They thought they might be down by 1, and they're going to get the football back. So Bukovic will put it down at the 40-yard line.
Very quiet third quarter has changed. Just 30 seconds in here in the fourth.
Bukovic awaits the football. Still raining here, kind of more of a misty kind of a rain now than the downpour that we've had on and off all night. It was beautiful here until, about 15 minutes before game time, and that's when the rains kicked in.
Yeah, started with a drop here or there. And talking to Matt Jaworski here, who does a lot of our games here on GTV, whether it be football and volleyball, etc. He just said it was when he showed up was when it started raining. So now
there's a pattern there with Matt Jaworski. Every time he comes to a captain's game, it rains.
No question.
I think with one game this year, Matty, that you came twice. Comes to a lot of games, covers a lot of games, right? Rains almost every. You can just bet on it. It's like Schlepprock in the old Flintstones. Remember the guy that walked around with a cloud on his head? It was always raining. Or was that before your time as well?
I watched the Flintstones.
All right, Bobby Bukovic will approach the football.
Great shoes on Bukovic.
He will dump it toward the right side, and that's caught by John Watson, the quarterback in there. He'll grab it and come across the 20 to the 25-yard line, and that's where Riverside will take back over. First down and 10, 11:20 to go in the ball game, tied at 22.
Hey, well, we had a moment I wanted to say, Craig, that Brian Landis, who's an assistant coach over on the Chardon bench, has actually written a book. It's called Bleeding Red and Black. It's about his time as a Hilltopper.
No kidding.
During the playoff runs, the ones that you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
Going into 1999, which, when Hewitt would have been a senior on this Hilltopper team. And, of course, Brian Landy's dad died while he was in high school, a very tragic accident. He's written a book about it, and I had a chance to read it. It's a very touching story and really a must-read for any Hilltopper fan.
No kidding. Watson under center. He's got Vernon in the backfield, but they pitch it to Vaskovic around the far side, and he cuts across the 30 down the sideline before he is rolled into the bench. I thought I saw a flag flying there, but it was somebody in the bleachers on the far side throwing something up in the air.
I agree. What is it?
I don't know what it is, but
it's a
somebody's
hat.
So Vaskovic is able to pick up, looks to be about almost 9 yards on that play. So 2nd down and 1.
Sam Wilkes coming out of the game for the Hilltoppers. We haven't mentioned him a whole lot, but Sam, also the starting center, is a junior, and he's going to be one of those really important players next year.
They've got Bencius and Huck into the game as 2 wideouts now for Riverside, but they hand the ball off to Nate Vernon. He's got the first down as he moves it to the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play, or nearly 5, and another first down for Riverside. Tied at 22 now here in the 4th quarter. It's everything you'd want in a Thursday night football game. 3 games in the pack, I believe, going on tonight. Madison's hosting a game. I'm sure that is going to be a nice quagmire to play in. Kind of weather we've had. So Vernon stays in the backfield. They run Bilal to a wing on the far side. He comes in motion, and they hand it off to Vernon. Nothing doing. Got a yard, maybe a yard and a half. And that was just brute strength on Nate Vernon's part to pick up that many yards.
Great job, though, by the defense to not be fooled by Bilal, who was running near side of the field with Watson.
So we'll give him 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8, under 10.5 minutes to go here in the game.
With Bilal's speed, you run into the potential problem of Chardon paying too much attention to him and one of these other backs on a dive or a counter play getting some big yards up the middle.
Bilal goes in motion. They pitch it back to him, coming to the near side. Got some room. 35-40. He's to the 40-yard line, down the sideline to the 30 before he is run out of bounds.
That was
Muir, yep.
Boy,
wow.
He is fast.
Yes, he is.
Just needed the corner, and good job by Muir to take a good angle there and push him out of bounds.
So they take it to the Topper 29 with 10:03 to go. Huck to the far side, then Cias to the near side. Bilal, wing on the far side. They run Vaskovic in motion from the wing, but they hand the ball off to Vernon. And Vernon gets to the 26-yard line. He'll pick up 3 on the first down play.
You look at Vernon, Watson, both juniors on this Riverside team. So we talked about how young Chardon is, but Riverside in the same sort of situation. And Coach Bohr is only in his 2nd year here. You know, he's been away from the Hilltoppers for 3 years. He's 3-0 in that time.
Yep. And he's happy with the progress so far that he's getting. He says, you know what, it's your building blocks. Every year you hope to get better and better. And the one thing he will be missing, though, is the whole offensive line is going after this year. 2nd down and 7. Vaskovic goes in motion. They run the option. Watson going to keep it with a lot of room to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. John Watson found a big hole over the right side, kept it, and untouched into the end zone. And now it is 28-22. Riverside has taken the lead. 2nd time they've had the lead today.
Chardon defender there took away the option, but by doing so, left Watson with that wide open alley to run it in for the touchdown.
Well, he played that properly, but where was the help, right? You got to get the cavalry to come behind you and take that out. Here we go, Jesse Cassidy to attempt the PAT. Side-winding right-footed kicker puts that one up, and that one is no good. Shoved it to the right. So we've traded missed extra points here tonight as well, and it's the 22, and Chardon will get the football back with over 9 minutes to go here in the game. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, what? I got nothing.
Just a little bit to the right and just shoved it. And
well, you mentioned the sidewinding, the way that he approaches the ball and kicks it below and straight up. A lot of times you see that type of kick's not going to get blocked, but it just, I would say, maybe a foot to the right of that right mark.
So again, it's Hawkins and Muir going back. They'll stand at their 15 as Cassidy will try to recover from that and see what he does with this kickoff.
Tyler Hogan on crutches and in jeans, watching the game right there next to our cameraman, Chris Graw. We get a load of this now, Craig. Bilal, 12 carries, 164 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns.
Line drive kick, skips toward Hawkins. And he goes up the far side, and he'll get across the 25 to 27, 28-yard line. So the Hilltoppers now, though, they've got a shot of get a touchdown, get yourself an extra point, and you're winning the game. So
certainly no need to hurry, no need to do anything other than what you've been doing. And I expect, how about it? When you talk about how often teams are going to run the football, it's a talking point to start the game.
Yep.
But we're still at 1 throw each.
Right.
We could very well end right there.
Well, that's the thing, and both these teams will run for probably a couple 100 yards easily, and the other team knows they're running. They hand the ball off. That's Muir, same play as he scored the touchdown on. He goes around the left side, and he'll get near the first down marker. So a good, solid gain there on first down for the Hilltoppers and the junior Alex Muir. And it will be a first down. He got as far as he needed to get, and they'll move the chains. It's under 9 minutes to go.
Ruckel was from the gun there. When they keep Ruckel in the gun, they go right back to it. They like to do this.
They've got him in the gun again. And again, it's Muir, and he takes another handoff. That time, they didn't fool anybody. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Ball might have come out, but it saw some of the coaching staff on Riverside's side pointing the other way, but
that was
if
quite
it did come out. It was out of bounds.
That was quite literally the exact same play.
Yeah, 3 times in a row now. They got the touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And so Zach Berry has not been in the offensive backfield in the last couple plays. They've run this shotgun formation. Ruckel looking toward the bench like, what's going on here? He's waiting. Took a long time to get that play in. Coming in off the bench, Roger Davis, and he sprints in. He better hurry. They better get up to the line of scrimmage here real quick.
I don't think they have it.
And now the back judge is showing the countdown. And it's going to be a delay. Nope.
Timeout.
Timeout going to be called by Riverside. Took a long time to figure out what they were doing offensively there. And
Hilltoppers, yeah. Hilltoppers, that was their first timeout of this second half.
Roger Davis had to sprint in there the end of that play clock.
It's a good timeout. League of Women Voter Forum can be seen on GTV on Monday. So you're watching this replay on the weekend on Monday, Channel 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. You can see the League of Women Voters Forum. This time of the year, a lot of the different forums on GTV, including the Board of Education Candidates Night that GTV hosted last week, or maybe a week and a half ago, and that can be seen on replay. Couple quick announcements. Congratulations to the volleyball team for their 3-1 win over Lakeside Tuesday night, and also they beat Madison. So they'll play Shaw in the first round of the sectional tournament. That is October 17th, a Monday, 6:30 at Euclid High School.
Second down and 9, 7:48 to go in the game. Now they bring Zach Berry back in the backfield, but Ruckel stays in the shotgun. Runs a man in motion, and they hand the ball to Berry, and he gets tripped up. Tripped up for maybe a gain of a yard. He had a good head of steam going, but somebody hit him low and flipped him over, and down he goes in third down and long. Chelo Lopez was the man who did the job.
give Lopez some credit because that's the way to bring Zach Berry down. You don't want to do it up high, trip him up down low, and now this is an important third down.
Jason Janda going to sprint the play in. It looks like Chardon's having a hard time getting plays into the game quickly here. You could see Ruckel looking at the bench like, hey, where is he? I need my man in here. Janda will split to the near side. You see him at the bottom of the screen as Ruckel takes the shotgun snap, hands the ball off. That's Zach Berry. First down and then some across the 40 or 30, the 45 to the 44-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Zach Berry bowls his way for another Chardon first down. Actually spotted at the 43.
I just have to say again, the great thing about this offense is you can run the same play for no yards, negative yards, and you just stay with it, and Berry breaks it for 13 down the line there.
R.J. Pikus comes into the game. He will come to the near side. They'll split Andrew Gray out to the far side now. Double wings as they've got Muir going in motion. And Ruckel, the quarterback, going to keep it. He's across the 40, 35, down to the 30-yard line. Another first down. Picked up about 13 yards on that first down run. And the Hilltoppers will move the chains again with 6.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. Down by 6, and we've got a man down, and that's Berry. Let's hope this time of the night and this time of the weather conditions that it's the fourth quarter cramp that we see quite a bit with a lot of players here. As the Hilltoppers will come to their bench, the Riverside Beavers will go to their bench, but they're looking at the right leg of Berry. So the Hilltoppers moving the football down, trying to tie the game with a touchdown and take the lead with an extra point. And I would imagine that they would still put it in the foot of Bobby Bukovic to kick the extra point.
Yeah, I would think so too. But you don't know, with the sophomore probably having no varsity experience and having missed the last one.
Just looked like a low trajectory in the last one, so you don't know if it was something with the hold, and they would know a lot better upstairs. But I'm guessing that might be what we saw here with Zach Berry, is just a cramp, because he's jogging off under his own power.
Yeah, getting a very warm ovation here at home.
Let's keep an eye on him just to see if he's maybe rubbing that leg a little bit, or if he maybe did roll an ankle. We'll see. But it'll be a first down and 10 at the 31-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go. They wind the clock up now here in the fourth quarter. Stephen Douglas will split to the far side. Ruckel under center with 3 men in the backfield. And Ruckel hands the ball off to Muir, straight up the middle to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. All kinds of misdirection in the backfield. And Alex Muir with a 31-yard touchdown scamper, and we are tied at 28.
He was not touched on that run. And we were just wondering, and Bukovic is out there.
So Bobby Bukovic going to come out. I mean, whether you're kicking JV or varsity, the goalposts are the same place that they are no matter what. Again, it's more the mechanics of getting the holder and the snap down. And again, not being able to see how that snap was held the last time might have been more of an issue there. We'll see as Bukovic tries to give the Hilltoppers a lead. Good hold. The kick is a low line drive, and that one is no good either. It went under the goalpost. So a screaming line drive under the post, and we are still tied at 28 now with 6:09 to go here in the game, and Riverside going to get the football back.
Crowd there was really, you mentioned the second time Bukovic has really tried to just muscle it straight through. And again, it's just a tough challenge for him. That was a good snap and a good hold, though.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just a little bit too geeked up when you get down there, and instead of just keeping, do what got you there. Just a nice smooth stroke on that kick, and I think that's a good word that you used, muscled. It looked like he was trying to kill the ball. Well, he'll get a chance to kick off here with the Hilltoppers and the Riverside Beavers. We are tied at 28, 6:09 to go in the ball game from soggy Chardon. But boy, I tell you what, these newfangled turfs that they have now, boy, they still play so well. I mean, we haven't seen guys slipping and falling or anything here tonight.
No, the only reason that's been an issue is because we've said it was at
right,
times.
exactly.
But out on the field, those guys are playing. They're playing just fine,
hanging on to the football. I mean, if there's an Achilles heel, if you look at Riverside this season, and both of these teams are actually pretty heavily penalized in the course of the year. But Riverside going into today had fumbled the football 18 times and lost it 10 times. And of course, they put it on the ground already today. So that may be something where Chardon tries to go a little ball hawking here. And there's a little pooch kick that will get caught at the 30. Vaskovic has it. He cuts back toward the middle and doesn't go anywhere. So good job there by Bukovic to put it in a nice spot. Vaskovic had to catch it going over his shoulder.
Yeah, momentum carrying him away from where he wanted to be going, and then he took it back to the middle of the field for a loss on the return. So that's about as good as Chardon could have done in that situation.
So first down and 10 at the 30. John Watson, the junior quarterback, will bring the offense out. He'll split Vencius to the far side along with Grayson Huck. Vaskovic is on one wing and Bilal on the other. That's a Vaskovic going in motion. But again, they hand the ball off right up the middle to the big guy, Nate Vernon. And he gets about 2 or 3.
Hilltoppers on the sidelines trying to get this crowd going. Certainly not as many people as we would have here on a typical home game for the Hilltoppers. I think the rain probably sent some of the faint-hearted out.
Right. And as soon as you stand up, your seat gets wet. You're
right.
low, so you got to keep sitting. If you got a dry seat, that is.
Right.
So you just yell real loud. Same formation as we just saw with 2 wides to the far side. Under 5.5 to go as Watson sends Bilal in motion, pitches it his way. And he will try to bounce to the corner and gets the corner at the 35, and he muscles his way to the 37, maybe even the 38-yard line, still shy of a first down.
Joe Connick, Stephen Douglas on the tackle, and the way that Bilal has run the ball here in the second half, even though that was a nice positive gain, it's a success for the Toppers defense.
So a 3rd down and 2. Huge play here for the Topper defense. They can force a punt here. The way the offense has been running, you got to like their chances. Cliff Hayes now into the ball game. He'll split to the far side with Vencius. Keep an eye on both of those wings, though. Vaskovic and Bilal, they've been very good.
Crowd really in it right now.
They hand the ball off to Nate Vernon, and he gets the first down as he barrels for 4 yards across the right side. Boy, they can just hit you from so many different ways here. The power of Vernon, Vaskovic, and Bilal with the speed around the edges. Ball at the 43-yard line, first down and 10 for Riverside, under 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Defensive substitution being made by the Hilltoppers as they'll bring TJ back into the ball game. Benatti comes back in. Vaskovic goes in motion. They pitch the ball back to him as he tries the corner, but not much there. Maybe a yard or 2 as he gets strung out over there.
Good angle by Sam Wilkes, and then Paul Judd helping him out.
So once they straighten things out, it looks like only a gain of a yard.
My suspicion now is on both sides, Coach Hewitt and Coach Boers, that they're not going to put this game into the hands of their kickers anymore. I think that the offenses on the field are going to decide this one way or the other. I'd be very surprised to even see a field goal attempt at any point.
Wideouts to either side. Vernon is the lone setback. Watson runs Bilal in motion, and he hands the ball to Vernon, and he gets across the 45 to the 47. Gain of 4, 3rd down, and about 5 coming up. So there's that 3rd down and fairly long for the Chardon defense. And 3rd down, actually 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a long 5, short 6, and it's a big play. We've seen the Hilltoppers defense has not done well on 3rd down for the most part.
So it is Huck to the far side. Then Cius to the near side. Double wings as Watson runs the Vaskovic in motion, runs the option, and he is going to keep it, and he's not going to get the first down. He actually put it on the ground, and Chardon may have it.
Yes.
He put it on the ground, and it looks like it's going to be Hilltopper football.
Look at Doug Cross, number 5, coming off the field. I think he had something to do with it. But they are fired up down there right now.
Well, there was going to be a punting situation anyway, as Chardon was going to get the football back on a great defensive stand there. And now with the ball at the 47-yard line, they'll get the football with a chance to win the game.
Nick Ruckel coming back off the sidelines, turning to the home crowd where we're sitting, and again raising his hands in the air.
So it's a first down and 10 at the 47-yard line of Riverside. They run Barry as a wing now, and they run Muir in motion.
Ooh.
And a flag flies as he goes around the far corner. Matter of fact, 2 flags were down.
Muir took a really tough hit there. I think it was Cliff Hayes who took him down. But this probably is against Chardon in the direction that the offense is moving.
Yep, holding against the Hilltoppers, and that'll move them back 10 yards. So instead of a second down and 9, it'll be a first down and 20. Into the game is John Spear. 3:12 to go in the game, tied at 28. Ball moved back to the 43-yard line. So it will be a first down and 20. Zach Berry in the backfield. Ruckel will go under center with 2 wings. He'll have John Spear split to the near side. He runs Connick in motion. Now he's going to throw. He looks, he's tossing. It's got a man. That's Muir. He's open at the 35, and he dropped the football. Had him open, and Muir had it go right through his hands. Again, a slick football in the air. And Muir was wide open and might have been able to pick up, might have got a touchdown, but if nothing else, would have taken it very deep on a pretty well-thrown ball by Nick Ruckel.
It was a great ball out of Ruckel's hand. Give him some credit. He hasn't thrown the ball since the first quarter. And you always wonder, with a wet ball, hasn't thrown it a lot, what will that first throw look like? That was just a beautiful ball.
Ruckel had completed 18 passes on the year. 8 of those had gone to Alex Muir.
Well, Muir was the one who caught the ball earlier.
Yep, second down and 20 now. And they hand it to Barry. He's got some room across midfield, stays on his feet, and gets back to the original marker at the 47-yard line. So he picks up about 10 on that play. So now a third down and 10, a little bit more manageable now than the third and 20, or than third and 20 would have been, excuse me. So it is third down and about right at the stick at 10. 2.5 minutes to go in the game, tied at 28. Spear brings this play in as Ruckel looks at the clock over his left shoulder.
It's a situation where coaching becomes very important. Clock management, timeouts.
Yep.
Riverside with 1, Hilltoppers with 2.
Spear to the near side, full house backfield. 3 in the backfield behind him. And they hand the ball off, and that is Muir. He's got some room. He's down this far sideline to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Alex Muir again untouched, that time over the left side. And the Hilltoppers have taken the lead 34-28 with under 2 minutes to go.
You know, the thing is it was the same play. Muir just took it left himself. Yep. It was a counter play. He found the hole the last time to the right. This time he went to the left. And, you know, I love the way that the Hilltoppers, when they find something that works, they stay with it.
The Hilltoppers are going to call timeout. I think they want to discuss whether this is the direction that they want to head here. Bobby Bukovic has had a hard time with 2 extra points here today, and they may be thinking, let's just go for 2 and give it a shot, and if we can get it in, that's even better. That forces Riverside to go for 2 if they were able to score with less than 2 minutes to go, and only 1 timeout left. That's the big part of this right now.
Well, the only thing I would say there is that you clearly had to know what you were going to do ahead of time, right? I mean, you had to think about it. So you run your kicker out, and then suddenly it's like, wait, we don't want to do this, and now you've burned a timeout that you may need. So those types of things late in a game like this, you'd think that you're always thinking a few steps ahead.
Well, they may have been hoping that they got the touchdown with 30 seconds to go and it was a moot point.
Yeah.
Well. You know, you get those big plays. But how good has Muir been tonight? My, oh, my. He is fast.
And how about him? You know, he comes back after the drop and
right.
becomes the hero to this point in the game.
What drop? I don't remember any drop.
Exactly. Nobody will.
That's how fast you forget, right?
Yeah.
All right, they are going to go for 2 now, as Ruckel brings the offense back out.
It's a good call.
I think so, too. Bobby Bukovic will have his time, but why put any more undue pressure on the young man? And then, again, if you can get in here, that would be something else.
Coach Hewitt telling the band to settle down.
And the crowd to be quiet, too, as they they get it to Benatti. And he does not get in. So they brought in TJ to see what he could do there. And now with 1:58 to go, it is 34-28 in a terrific game here tonight. One of the best games we've seen here in a long time. Back and forth, well played on both sides. Some terrific offenses. But as it always does, it's going to boil down to the defense now. And that extra points, the several extra points that Chardon has had 3 extra point opportunities that they have not converted on. Riverside's had the 1.
And obviously for Riverside, there's one guy on this team right now who's been able to make a big play, and it's Bilal.
Right.
But again, the Beavers have thrown the ball 1 time. They have 1 timeout with 1:58. So if they want to go 5 yards a carry, the way they have been with a Vernon or, with a Vencius, then the Hilltoppers will give them that. You got to avoid the big play at this point. And if they want to put it in the air, I think Chardon will welcome that.
And you got to try to turn these guys back, keep them in the field of play. Of course, the clock does stop when you get a first down, which is a bonus there for Riverside. So if they can keep churning out first downs, they can get to the line of scrimmage and not lose a whole lot of time.
They actually have put Bilal in the return game. He's sitting right at the 25 on the near side of the field where they might suspect Bukovic to kick it.
Right, and they've got Watson there as one of the up men, and then back deep, they've still got Cliff Hayes back there, and they've also run the other Bilal back there, Adama Bilal. So we'll see what they have Bobby Bukovic do here with 1:58 to go in the game.
It's not very often that your kicking game becomes a storyline.
Yep. And he's going to squib it right down the center. Takes a nice high bounce. Bilal grabs it at the 26, and he gets swarmed under at the 29. Boy, that took a nice high bounce, and Bilal had to jump up and grab it. Well done there. And 70 yards to go for the Riverside Beavers with 1:54 to do it.
Well, you have 2 defensive coaches, Boers and Hewitt, and Mitch right now will lean back on his defense and hope that Chardon can come up with the stop. You go Muir's touchdown just a moment ago, Craig. Now that makes it the 3rd game in a row that the Hilltoppers have gone over 30 points. That's a good number.
Yep, sure is. Well, here we go. 1st down and 10. They go from the shotgun with Watson. He's got Ivaskovic to his left. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far. He looks one way, comes back the other. That ball is caught by Cliff Hayes. Jumps over some tacklers to the 40, to the 45, and he's near midfield. Big gain there of about 18, almost 20 yards. And that's a first down. The clock stops, 1:45 to go. And Riverside on the march, and they'll spot it at about the 48-yard line.
Now's a good time for the crowd to make some noise.
Watson from the shotgun takes the snap, pitches it back. That's Bilal. They have him pinned in, but he's still able to gain about a yard. But that keeps the clock running, and it's going to be, decision time for Dave Boers as to when do you take that final timeout. He's going to get the guys to the line real quick now. Watson looking over the sideline because they've got to still signal into plays.
Hewitt wants more noise.
2nd down and 9. Watson barking out the signals from the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls to the near side. Looking, throwing, incomplete. Pass was intended for Vince Tromba, the junior. He's caught 1 pass all year, and now is a 3rd down and 9.
This is it's a tough place for Riverside's offense to be in. They're not used to running making the pass plays that they need to make in this particular situation, and they also, I'd imagine they're not a team that runs the no huddle a whole lot. And so you've got to have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 plays ready to go, queued up, because you only have 1 timeout.
Watson in the huddle, splits everybody out. He'll bring Hayes to the near side. He will run the other Bilal to the far side, and he's got Anthony Bilal to the near side in a slot, shotgun. Back to throw. Pumps, throws, got Hayes. He's to midfield. He's into Chardon territory. With some room to the 40, to the 30, and he is going to be brought down inside the 20-yard line. Actually inside the 15. Huge play there. Cliff Hayes, his 5th reception of the year. He's had a 51-yarder already this year, and that one was a pretty good one. And that'll be a 1st down and 10 now with 55 ticks to go.
It's the same play that they started this drive with, and that one went for positive yards as well.
All right, they got the ball to 13 now. Clock is running. Bilal in motion, takes the pitch. And we've got flags. What do we got?
Beavers are going to use their last timeout.
Nope, they pointed one way. Now they're pointing back towards Chardon. So the Toppers will take their last timeout. What a game we got going on right now. 34-28. Chardon with the lead, but Riverside on the march. But the good news for Chardon, again, Riverside still has 1 timeout left, but they can get a couple stops here. Let that clock keep ticking away. And it may come down to the foot of Jesse Cassidy, who missed his last extra point attempt, but has been pretty good on the season. He'd only missed 2 going into today.
Riverside, I think, Craig, they have to be throwing the football in this sense, because unless you get out of bounds, and the clock's going to run, and you do have a timeout. So, but you're going to save that timeout until maybe you get inside the 5 or so.
Right, and you can get a 1st down at the 3, so they will stop the clock at that point. The Crazy for the Cure guys, the rooting section that was to our right, they're headed to the other side of the field to cheer on the defense. They went sprinting away in front of us. They emptied the stands to our right. Now they're down on the rail. They're trying to help out the defense here. 1st down and 10 from the 13-yard line. Vernon in the backfield. Bilal goes in motion. They fumble it. Ball's loose, and I think the Hilltoppers may have it. And I think they do. Fumble on the snap, and the Hilltoppers have the football. How about that? Oh, my. Turnover. We said earlier, 18 fumbles for the Beavers coming into the ball game. And they'd lost one already that cost them points, and they're going to lose another one that's going to cost them the game.
Cal McGee on the recovery. That's Will Blankenship, the senior. 76 Blankenship, 2-year letter winner.
What a... Well, sometimes the elements standing around, and, just a tough break there for the Beavers, but the Hilltoppers now will be able to take a knee. A timeout will be called in case they fumble another snap like Riverside did.
What a great,
but Ruckel will take
win.
the knee.
Coach Boers actually coming out.
Yep.
He's walking out. He's got
1 timeout left, and I don't know if he's going to use it or not.
He doesn't want to use it. Look, he's trying to get out there. He's shaking the referee's hand. This thing's over.
Yep, he's going to say, you know what? I trust them to get a snap, and that's the ball game. How about that? A terrific win today for the Hilltoppers to up their mark at 3-5. So maybe now they're the best 3-5 team in the state of Ohio.
Well, one of the things that before this game, you look at the Premier Athletic Conference, you've got teams that always go to the top, and you've got some teams that always go to the bottom. The last 2 years, Chardon has been one of those teams toward the bottom.
Yep.
Now they can move their way right into the middle of this conference, continue building under Mitch Hewitt, and Mitch will be, as good of friends as Mitch Hewitt and Dave Boers are right now. Hewitt 1-0 against his buddy.
And you saw a lot of hugs at midfield there with the coaching staffs that have known each other forever, and that's a heck of a win tonight for the Chardon Hilltoppers. And Alex Muir, wow, what a job he did with multiple touchdowns tonight, and just showing what a big game and big break threat he is. And Jamie, that was a heck of a game on both sides, and really tough for Riverside to lose it on a fumble like that too. You got to feel for those kids too, because they played a whale of a game too. It's one thing to get stopped and get stoned at the 2-yard line and you don't get in. It's another thing to shoot yourself in the foot like that and cost yourself a ball game. That was a shame.
Exactly what we expected. Both teams running the ball, both teams doing what they do best. Both teams were clearly equals out on the field, and a turnover here or there, an injury decides the game. It was the fumble at the end.
Well, what a great night of football here. We're glad you could be along. That's going to do it from here. Our thanks, as always, to the executive producer of GTV is Super Dave Jevnikar. For Jeff Graw and Chris Graw and my partner, Jamie Ward, I'm Craig Dees. I see that my time is up. I thank you very much this evening for your time. Once again, the final from Chardon Memorial Field. It's the Hilltoppers 34 and the Riverside Beavers 28. Good evening.